Hey everyone. Today I discovered Russian animator Yuri Norstein. Norstein. Not totally sure how to pronounce his last name. What I tell you all, go watch his stuff. There's 6 short films. You can probably find it on YouTube somewhere with subtitles because I don't think they were dubbed. They may or may not have been dubbed. But this is brought back to me from a Summer Camp Island episode that apparently was a reference to his seminal short film Hedgehog in the Fog, which is apparently a really big deal in Russian pop culture. So anyways, this guy's working on a movie, is 81 years old, and he's still working on a movie that he's been making since like the 70s, and I'm thinking, oh dear, 1981. I'm thinking, oh dear, he's not going to finish this. He's probably not going to finish this movie, is he? But there's 6 short films. There was a DVD that has all of them with English subtitles. I bought it. Good investment. Go look up Yuri Norstein, everyone, all 21 people. By the way, we have 21 subscribers now. Woo. Someone else joined, I guess.
Yay.
Yuri Norstein. Really good stop-motion cutout animation. No computers. Go look at the fog effects on Hedgehog in the Fog. None of that was done with computers.
Cool. All right. Well, that was a short monologue, but thank you.
There was no monologue. I just wanted to tell you about Yuri Norstein.
Cool. Yeah, I don't have anyone to recommend. I guess Don Hertzfeldt, but everyone already knows about Don Hertzfeldt, so I don't really need to recommend him. But what about?
Yeah,
he's great.
I've got Don Hertzfeldt.
Yeah, no, everybody knows about Don Hertzfeldt. That's why I don't feel like I need to recommend him. I guess if for some reason you haven't heard of him, go check him out though. He's good. Good stuff.
Worst part is that I know for certain if I showed like anyone else really the people if I show any of my family Don Hertzfeldt animations, my dad would just look at it and say, "This is bad animation and it looks stupid and it's stupid." And it's like, You're confusing art style and animation again. Stop doing that.
Yeah, your dad likes to do that. Your dad likes to make things objective that really are subjective. Sometimes.
He does it all the time. He always thinks he says the animation is bad, and it's like, what you mean is you don't like the art style. Those are not the same thing.
I don't know. We did have an interesting discussion about that a few weeks ago, I think, about when you cross that line from it being, like, when is it bad animation and when is it just a weird art style,
Well, I'm not even meaning specifically that. I'm saying whenever he says the animation is bad, he means he doesn't like the art style because the animation is how the characters move. It's not the aesthetic.
Okay, well,
he conflates the words animation and art style, and it's like those are not the same thing.
I mean, to the layman, they kind of are, but I don't know. Layman, more like lame, man.
More like screw you.
That was a mic drop. Anyways,
Hayao Miyazaki. I still don't know how to pronounce his first name.
Don't ask me. Yeah. So what are we talking about today?
Apparently, nothing.
Yeah, basically. Okay, I guess
actually, I'll tell you what we're talking about today. Oh, I've got a question for you, Futterman. You ready?
Sure.
Here's what we're talking about. If you could have any animal as a pet, regardless of practicality or legality, what would it be and what would you name it?
If I could have any pet, regardless of legality, practicality and legality, you said?
And legality.
Okay, so if practicality is not an issue, that opens the door up a lot. Because, yeah, realistically, if we're talking practicality, a dog is about as high as I'm willing to go. Like, high-maintenance animals are not for me. Dogs are the limit for me. But if we're talking practicality is not an issue, someone else will take care of all the hard stuff. Probably still a dog, honestly. I just like dogs.
I like dogs too. Okay. I
don't really aspire to anything more than a dog.
I wouldn't mind a chicken, but it's more just for the sole reason of people come over and then a chicken walks by and they do a double take.
It's not as funny as you think. I used to have chickens. I mean, the eggs were nice. Having
I just have
fresh
one
eggs every
chicken
day.
that I keep as a pet.
Oh, like in your house?
Yeah. I give them a little chicken area.
Well, you can't really like potty train a chicken, right? They just kind of go where they please.
People have.
Sort of. I don't know.
Bottom line, it can be done.
Actually, I changed my answer. It would be fun to own a parrot, I think. And I know that's like kind of a boring answer for this question because those are entirely legal, but what they are is they're messy and high maintenance.
I forgot my number one answer. Sorry, you finish.
I'll just say parrots. I've always thought they look fun. Like, I love to watch videos of parrots talking. I love how smart they are. It's funny. But I've never really cared to own one myself because they're very, very messy, very high maintenance, and they live longer than you do. So, yeah.
Capybara.
Those are adorable. Those are freaking
I
adorable.
want a capybara.
I think
Which is
everybody
basically,
wants
it'd be functionally, I'd kind of end up having an animal that was similar to a dog.
I mean, they're more like a giant guinea pig. I mean, that's kind of exactly what they are, actually.
Well, yeah, but when a guinea pig is that large, it basically becomes a dog.
I think there's some behavioral differences. They are rodents, technically. Dogs aren't rodents. Actually, hey, have you ever heard of a quokka before? You ever seen those things?
I feel like I heard the name.
There's the timer. So, Mingus, what are your thoughts on the ethical implications of cloning humans?
It's unethical and we shouldn't do it. I mean, like, if you're talking about making, like, if you're cloning organs for use in organ transplants, okay,
Well,
sure. If you're
arguably
talking
more
about
ethical.
making full-on humans, no.
Well,
Bad idea. Terrible idea.
Well, I think this question is talking about cloning humans as in the whole human.
Well, then, in the case of the whole human, not only do I think that is ethical from a religious standpoint, I don't think it's ethical from a moral standpoint, because every time we've tried to make clones of more complicated creatures, they usually die. They
there's
usually
timer.
die.
Um,
Okay.
Yeah, let's see.
All right. Okay. Futterman, if you were to design a new mode of transportation, what would it look like and how would it function?
That's a hard
backing
one.
track to this. I feel like we need a backing track for this episode.
If you want to send me one, I'd be happy to run it in the background. But for a mode of transportation, I don't know. I feel like the car is pretty. Honestly, just like a more practical electric car. Honestly, if I could, if you know, I love the idea of an electric car. Just not having to buy gas is amazing. But like modern electric cars do come with a lot of downsides. But yeah, not buying gas would be nice. Other than that, I think cars are kind of fine. Like I don't think we need to do much more than that.
All right, so hear me out.
Oh,
Big
timer.
slingshot.
Sorry, timer. Where did you grow up?
Here.
Same. That one's boring.
Grew up here.
Next. Sorry, we got to run the timer out. Sorry, rules are
Okay.
rules. Yeah, I grew up there.
You know what?
I grew up there
was
too.
born as a young child, and when I was young, I was born,
Well,
and
know,
I thought to
what's funny,
myself,
though-
this is weird.
What's funny though is I didn't grow up here. I grew up there as well. But I was actually born closer to here than there. That's what's funny.
I was born nowhere near here.
I was born somewhere over here, near here, not super near, still pretty far from here, but here.
Nor there.
I was born around here, and then I moved there, and then I moved here, which is kind of somewhere in between here and there.
I was born way over there, then moved here, and I've never left.
There you go.
Let's see. Excuse
Nice.
me. Here's video game dungeon boss. I'm looking through. I'm gonna find a backing track.
Okay.
I don't know what kind of music you'd put behind this.
I don't know. Either something really tense or really relaxing, and probably nothing in between.
Oh, you know what we should do is we should use that one. We should use Sneaky Snitch.
I feel like we're cheating by running out the timer talking about something other than the topic.
All right, sorry. When I was as a child, I was born young, and I grew up at a standard rate of pace, about 1 second.
No, the
per
question is
second,
where you were
moving
born, not how you were born and what you did
I
after.
was born in a
or where did you grow
geographical
up, not where were
location
you
that
born.
has trees and other soil. Beneath that soil is loam. Beneath the loam is the mantle. And if you go down far enough, you reach the inner mantle crust. If that stops spinning, the world ends. But see, luckily where I'm standing above it, there are no heat vents, because that way I cannot be burned by those scalding hot magma at the center of the Earth's core, like in that one movie, Apocalypse Now, which is about when a
different
Vietnam
movie.
happens.
Oh, there we go.
Okay,
Do you
let
think-
me tell you this.
Oh, you got one?
Yes. Wait, hold on. Hold on. This one's taking a second. Let me go to my other one. Never have I ever spilled a drink all over myself. Yay or nay?
Yay. I've done that. It's happened. Happens to the best of us.
What was the context?
Well, okay, this one, well, honestly, just last night, I kind of did, except it wasn't really a drink. So I had a bowl of ramen for dinner, right? Like, I made some ramen at home. Just instant ramen. I doctored it up a little bit, but there was the broth in the bowl, and I went to drink the broth, and what I forgot is I was drinking out of a special bowl that we have. It's like, it was a gift I got, but it's like an actual ramen bowl, and it has like a slot to store your chopsticks. weirdly. It's very hard to describe, but it's got basically like a slot in the side and then a hole in the other side so you can like stick the chopsticks through the bowl and store it like that. Oh, there's the timer.
What the heck are you talking about?
Who's your favorite actor or actress?
I don't...
Seriously,
gosh,
you don't have an answer to that?
I don't care.
I'm
Frank
blanking on one, too.
Welker.
Frank Welker? Yeah, I guess voice actor counts. Has he ever done
Voice
non-voice
actors
acting?
absolutely count.
Has he ever done non-voice acting? Just out of curiosity.
I mean, probably a few times. Voice actors absolutely count, and they do not get enough respect.
Yeah, let's see. My favorite. Kurt Russell's up there. He's in some of my favorite movies.
Oh, gosh. I found the perfect backing track. Can you just play it from your end, or do I have to actually give you a file?
It depends on if it's just like a YouTube video, I can just play it, probably. Or a file works, too. I don't know. Just put it in the Discord, and I will figure out what to do with it. But yeah, Kurt Russell's up there. I actually really like Matthew McConaughey. I don't know. I like his movies a lot.
I thought Matthew McConaughey famously just plays Matthew McConaughey.
Yes and no. I don't know. He's got some range. He's in two of my favorite movies, like Interstellar and Mud. He plays very different characters in both of those movies.
Right. I remember Mud.
Yeah, he plays it like he's like.
I wasn't as much of a fan of it as you were.
I don't know. I think I was able to relate to it because I saw it as a teenager at a certain time in my life, and I related a lot to the character in certain ways. Weirdly, that sounds very pretentious to say, but I don't know. I just like that movie, Mud. It's a really solid, just coming of age kind of movie, and I enjoy those. And then Interstellar, I like. I know that one's got kind of mixed opinions on it, but I liked it a lot. I like just sci-fi. I like more grounded sci-fi, and that was a really good example of grounded sci-fi.
Yes.
Yeah, and then
Let's see. Rob Paulson, also a man of 1,000 voices, like Frank Welker.
Yeah.
It was Raphael. He was Yakko. He was various Transformers throughout the years.
Oh, timer.
Anyways, I put a thing in the Discord. You'll recognize this music.
Yes, I do.
Put it in. Put it over everything.
Yep, it's running.
It?
Yeah, it's going. I'm gonna turn it down a little bit though.
Cool. Set it to loop. Anyways, here's your first question. If you could ask one question, what question would that question be?
All right, I guess I gotta start the timer on that one. If I could, how's it going?
It's good, I guess. It's good, I guess. It's not a very good question.
I'm aware. Oh, wait, sorry. Brief pause in the music. Oh, too loud. Holy cow.
How would you do that to yourself?
I don't know. How do you make it loop?
You just right-click and click loop.
Oh, nice. All right.
That's our backing track.
Yeah, we now have a backing track. Oh, and the timer's still running on. Oh, yeah, so if you could ask any question, what would it be?
If you could ask any question, what would it be?
Oh, favorite Lego set?
The one where...
Oh, timer. Do you think there are any circumstances where the use of torture could be morally justified?
I don't know. What counts as torture in this context?
Any form, I think. I think torture is specifically like putting someone through, torture, unpleasant experiences, pain, psychological torture probably counts. Putting someone through pain to get some to reach some ends.
No, okay. Well, okay. You know what? Let's take the question away because I'm thinking like people always say torture doesn't work. People will just lie to get it to end. But now that wasn't the question. The question is it ever morally justified? And you know what? There are a couple of circumstances that I don't think I'd be too upset about it. But those mostly deal with people who committed a very specific kind of crime. Which I don't know if we're allowed to discuss on YouTube.
Well, I don't know. Like, regardless of what crime they committed, I don't think it's ever right to just torture somebody for the sake of torturing them. I think it's more like torturing them to reach I don't think that's ever morally justified. I don't think, regardless of how much suffering someone caused, causing another human suffering just to cause them suffering, that just kind of makes you less of a person too. Oh, timer. Yeah, you got one?
If you could travel to any historical event, what flavor of ice cream would you bring with you?
Any historical event?
Well, yeah, you could travel in time to any historical event. What flavor of ice cream would you bring with you?
Oh, that's a tough question. So, honestly, I might just play it safe and take vanilla, because I feel like, going back in time. Wait, do I have to pick it? Do I have to pick the event too?
Yes.
Okay,
what
I would go back
event
to.
are you going to, and which ice cream are you bringing?
I would just go back to any random day in ancient Rome and bring vanilla ice cream. And the reason I say vanilla is because bringing, some kind of frozen sweet dessert back to ancient Rome in itself is going to be, probably terrifying and world shaking for those people.
Hey,
so I think
they're not that primitive.
No, but I am saying it's going to be crazy to them to see this. So I think starting with something simple like vanilla is a lot more easy for them to grasp, because then you can just explain, oh, well, it's frozen cream, you add some sweetener, you add this pod that's called vanilla, that and I'm sure they probably even know what vanilla is.
I'm bringing blue moon.
Yeah, see, my goal wouldn't be to confuse them, it would be to fascinate them. So if I had to bring, if I brought cookie dough ice cream, then I would also...
Fascinating.
Well, it is fascinating, but I'm saying that's a lot harder to explain. Because then, if I just bring vanilla, it's super easy to explain. I can kind of introduce the concept of ice cream from the ground up. If I bring something like cookie dough, then I have to explain to them... Oh, timer. Describe your perfect first date.
I don't know, man. I don't date.
But if you did, what would be your
see.
perfect first date?
I guess, I don't know. I don't know how to date. That's the problem. I've been on dates, and I've been on exactly 4 dates, and all 4 of them were awkward and annoying.
I didn't ask you to dox yourself. I just said what would be your perfect first date.
I'm not doxing myself.
Okay, I guess that's not what doxing is.
Shame.
Still.
That's not what doxing is.
Yeah,
and
right, that's not
I
doxing.
have no shame.
Oh, timer. Yeah, I guess it's...
Okay,
oh, no,
if
it's
you
your
could
turn.
communicate with one species of animal, what would you tell them, and who would you say was fat?
If I communicate with one species of animal, what would I tell them? And so do I have to say what species I'd communicate with?
Yes. What species? Who are you telling them is fat, and what would you say?
I would probably pick dogs as a species just because that's the most practical. To be able to actually talk to my dog would be great. I mean, I do talk to my dog, but to have him actually understand him like I like to think he understands me would be wonderful. What would I tell him? And who would I say is fat?
Yes.
I would probably tell him he's a good boy and know that he actually 100% understands what that means, which would be great. I mean, I tell him that all the time, but, he's a dog, so I don't know if he 100% grasps what a good boy is. But then I'd probably tell him that, I don't know if he hasn't really met any fat people. I also don't really like calling people fat.
Listen, bud, the president, he's fat.
The president is fat. There's the timer. All right. What's the best thing about living in your city?
I don't know. Quiet.
Yeah.
They're kind of ruining that. They keep building things, and it's like, stop doing that. We don't need more people here. Why are you building hotels? This isn't a destination.
I mean,
Trying to make it a destination.
yeah, I mean, maybe it would be if there was hotels.
I don't want it to be a destination. I
Fair
want
enough.
people to not come here. I want this to remain a smallish town.
Yeah.
It's like the perfect blend. Every place I go to is either too small or too large. With the town I'm in right now is the perfect amount of size.
Yeah, I would say I really like the town I live in because of the size. It's a small community, but then the downside is that my town is a destination, and it's tourist season right now, and I hate it.
What do people even do there?
Mostly water sports kind of stuff, or paddleboarding, windsurfing, anything on the water, even fishing. Go figure.
Sorry, people come to the town for the purpose of fishing?
Well, that, and there's breweries, there's wineries, it's mostly for the river though. That's the biggest thing draw, and the river, and there's a lot of hikes, and there's a ski resort. All this is kind of like the touch point to where you stop here and then go out to those other places. So it's both a destination in itself, and it's a stopping point on the way to several other destinations that are nearby. But either way, tourist season, parking downtown just doesn't exist. Oh, there's the timer. I think
Right, if you were...
Yeah.
Wait.
It's your turn.
Oh, yeah, it's my turn. If you have been transported into the world of Alan Wake. What is your signature dance move?
I I'd probably do Gangnam Style because I can kind of do the Gangnam Style galloping horse dance thing. I did it once when I was very drunk at a party, and I think I did it right. Or
No,
excuse me, not a
see,
party,
I'm
a
going to
work
stop right
retreat.
there. There's no right way to do that move.
Okay, well, I'd probably just do that one. And I've never played Alan Wake, so I don't really know how to use that to influence my decision.
You're Gundam style your way into being taken over by the dark presence.
Yeah.
And we have to shoot you, and then it doesn't matter because we shine you with a flashlight and then shoot you, but then it turns out you're fine later,
Alan
but maybe
Wake.
not. I don't know.
Alan Wake, first you zap them, then you cap them. First you flash
Alan
them,
Wake,
then you blast them.
First you flash Dang it, man. Alan Wake, first you wrap them, then you smack them.
First you light them, then you light them up.
Light 'em.
First you light them, then you find
Alan
them.
Wake, first you burn them, then you spurn them with bullets.
First you... Dang. Alan Wake, first
Alan
you...
Wake, first you write them, then you spite them.
First you... Oh, timer. What's your influence on the growing? What's your opinion on the growing influence of artificial intelligence in our daily lives? Are you concerned about its potential risks? And I'd like to point out that question was generated by an AI.
Well, you know what? I'm. My gut says no, but my other gut says people will find a way to make this actually a problem. I don't think it's a problem right now. I think everyone's freaking out over nothing because they've watched too much science fiction. But I also think that somehow people are going to make this into a problem, and this is inexplicably going to end up interfering with my life somehow.
I would say it already is a problem to some degree. So here's the thing. I think the AI in itself
not
is...
lose the Earth or anything.
No, I'm not worried about like sentient AI taking over. Cut to 10 years later when that exact thing happens, but either way, that's not the part I'm afraid of. It's that AI is this great, it has the potential to be this great tool for humans. It has the ability to like make certain menial tasks way easier. The AI can come up with new and novel solutions that humans have never been able to come up with. So AI in itself is this amazing and fascinating tool. The problem is people already are misusing it. Like stuff like deepfakes exist, and those have already presented problems. Just the fact that they exist. There was this huge court case years ago. There was like this cheerleading team. I think they were like high schoolers or college students or something. But basically footage got leaked of them like at a party doing like illegal drugs and just doing all this stuff, and they basically got into a ton of trouble with the school for it. And then, they went to court over it because they were saying that these videos were deep fake, and the court had to take that seriously. Of course, end of the trial, it turned out it was all a lie. They actually were real videos. The deep fake thing was just a lie to try to get out of it. But the fact that it could have been deep fake, the technology existed that those videos could have been deep fake videos, just that fact alone. Whoops, there's the timer. Your turn.
If you were a tree, what kind of tree would you be?
I don't know that many trees. Oak, because I know that one. No, maple tree, because I like maple. I like the flavor of maple syrup.
I've never understood this question. It's always like a joke interview question, and it's like it's a joke. People must have really asked that question at some point. Why the hell did anyone ever ask that question?
Yeah, somehow it became the cliche question.
Why did that happen?
I don't really know. Yeah, I guess it's a test of creativity. Is kind of what it is. That's a question that forces you to think in novel ways and come up with a creative answer. But I have a hard time thinking of anything you could say to that question that would actually reveal anything about you as a person, other than you can think well on your feet. That's actually probably exactly the point of the question, is to see how well you think on your feet. Oh, there's the timer.
It's a stupid
timer. Let me see. What is your favorite song of all time?
That's a tricky one. It's your favorite song of all time.
Oh, yeah, mine tends to change. Right now, it's definitely Manchester Orchestra. They're my favorite band of all time by a pretty wide margin right now. My favorite song by Manchester Orchestra, I'm going to say The Silence. It's a really good song. Close second would be The Gold. That one's kind of a cliche answer, but it's a really good song, and it's popular for a reason.
Okay, you know what? I guess I'll just go with what is like one of my current favorite songs.
Yeah, favorites.
Because I'm very bad at picking favorites. So, gosh dang it, there it is. I guess one of my current favorite songs is Oataga Yoro Shikute Yo. That's the actual title. but it's way better.
I'm way better. Wait, that you're saying that title does not imply that it's an absolute banger?
Yes.
There's the timer.
Look,
Timer.
a good song, though.
It's your turn.
Okay, fine. If you could become fluent in any fictional language, which specific language?
Any fictional language?
Apparently.
I'm trying to think. Like the two default answers here are either Elven or Klingon, but I'm not really a huge fan of Star Trek or Lord of the Rings, so I can't think of any real good reason to be fluent in either of those languages.
Klingon you can actually learn in the real world.
Oh yeah, and Elven too. Like it's a real language in Lord of the Rings. Like they wrote a real language for that show.
What is a real language?
It's a real language, as in it's a functioning language. You can learn it and have an actual conversation with it. Actually, I'm gonna say I would say like a Star Wars language, but I don't think any of the Star Wars languages are actually like real functioning languages. I think they only come up with enough words to make it like sound real. I had one and I totally forgot what it was. What was it? Oh, I'll
learn Esperanto.
The language from Dune. What are they called? The Fremen language from Dune. That's what I'd go with because that one's really cool. And I'm pretty sure it's like it's at least a very fleshed out language if it's not a fully developed fluent one. But I'd be surprised if it wasn't. I know a few of the words. Like Shai Hulud is the name of the giant sandworms, and also the name of their god. What?
Shia LaBeouf?
No, not Shia LaBeouf. Shai Hulud. And then
actual cannibal Shia LaBeouf?
Muad'Dib is the name of it's a type of mouse actually, but it also is the name that Paul Atreides was given. It's the name he chose for himself when he became the Fremen's messiah. Essentially, he became Muad'Dib. Yeah, that was his Fremen name. That was his chosen Fremen name.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I would choose to learn Esperanto.
Esperanto. Oh, there's the timer. Let's see. Are you a pessimist or an optimist?
Pessimist.
Yeah, I'm tempted to say pessimist too. I don't
know.
No.
Me. Am I being honest right now?
No,
I say I'm a pragmatist, but I probably am I'm very cynical.
Yeah, I think pragmatist is more just the same thing as pessimism. No, I'd say I'm an optimist though, honestly. It's like I think the difference is like optimistic realism, I guess is what I like to say I'm trying to engage in. It's like I always prepare for worst case scenario. I always acknowledge that it's a possibility, but I like to think things tend to work out in the end. And so far that's been true, but I guess my life's not over yet, so who knows?
Yet anyways.
Is that a threat?
What a threat.
Never mind. Yeah, no, I think I think I'm an optimist overall though, you know. I've kind of just had to learn to cope. My life would.
Very cynical.
I guess honestly, even the field of work I went into, it's not really. Oh, there you go. Your turn.
Well, you know what? I generated some questions. I ask me some I'm like, give me uncomfortable questions. But you know what? I don't think these questions are good for this.
Just say it. Just give me the question.
I'll tell you some of these questions.
Just give me the question.
No, they're all terrible.
Just
they're not things that we need to talk about here.
Do it. Just do it. You know the rules. Say a question.
No.
And we have to talk about it till the timer goes off. Go.
I will tell you some of the questions, but I don't think you should answer them.
All right, go for it. Try me.
Have you ever intentionally hurt someone emotionally, and why'd you feel the need to do so? Is there a secret you're keeping from someone important in your life, and why haven't you revealed it?
No, let's go with the first one. No, the first one. All right. Have I ever hurt someone? Have I ever emotionally hurt someone intentionally? No, I don't think so. I don't think I've ever done it intentionally. I've done it unintentionally, of course, because I'm human, but no, I don't think I've ever done something purely with the intention to hurt somebody because I have a very overactive, conscience. I feel guilty for things that I probably don't need to, so I don't think I could live with the guilt of knowing I intentionally caused someone harm. Or I guess there's two ways to take this question. Either you said it to hurt them, or it's something that you said knowing it would hurt them but had to be said. If it's the second one, yes, I have done that. I have
I've definitely done that. I've probably done the first one, but I don't remember the circumstances.
Yeah, I mean, I guess as a kid, there was probably a time I did the first one, but as a functioning adult who actually understands the implications of my actions, no, I don't think I've ever done something purely with the intent of hurting somebody.
I think as a kid, we've all done the whole, well, I'm not going to be your friend anymore.
Oh, yeah, of course. Okay, that's true. Yeah, I guess I did do that as a kid. Oh, there's the timer. Saved by the bell. That was a good question. I don't know why you were so hesitant about that one.
Because some of these are just like, oh god.
You don't have to take the answers as dark as the question might make you think. Let's start. How long does it take you to get ready in the morning?
Well, I mean, it depends. What time of year are we talking about?
How about on a typical work day for you? How long does it take you to get ready?
Okay, on a typical work day, I'm out of bed and driving away in like 40 minutes.
40, wow. I can be out the door in 15 if I really have to be. But that's like skipping breakfast.
Because I mean, okay, because I guess on a typical work day, I wake up a little earlier so that for the sole purpose of being able to sit in my bed awake for like 20 minutes. And then once I actually get out of bed, it's shower, get dressed, eat breakfast, let dog out, then leave. That doesn't take very long.
Yeah, I mean, I guess mine has variability too, but the typical day, I wake up, I get out of bed, or I cuddle my dog in bed for a while because he loves to cuddle in the morning, and then I get out of bed, and then I take him out. I go upstairs and give him his breakfast. I feed the cat. I make my own breakfast. I eat my breakfast. I get dressed. I brush my teeth and do all that stuff. I take my dog for a walk if there's time. If there's not, I come home and do it on my lunch break, or if my wife's home that day, she just walks him. Yeah, I guess the longest version of me getting ready, like an hour, just if I'm really taking my time. I live really close to work, and most days I don't have to be there till 9, and I tend to wake up at
50 miles
7.
away from work.
Yeah, no, I live like less than a mile from work. It takes me 2 minutes to drive there. It's great. It's the best thing I've ever done.
Very early.
Best thing I ever did was take a job that's less than a mile from my work. Wait. Anyways, moving on. That was the timer. Oh, it's your turn.
It is?
Yeah, because I asked about what... That was my question.
Oh, okay. Is there a secret you're keeping from someone important in your life? And why haven't you revealed it? Why haven't you revealed it, Futterman?
I mean, there probably... Yeah, there is. There probably are things, and it's probably because revealing it would do more harm than good. It's one of those things where it's like a secret, but it doesn't... It's those things where it's like a secret, but it doesn't actually, like... It's not, like... I don't know. How do I even put this? Essentially, it would...
I'm not one of the people with the secrets.
Yeah, I mean, everybody has secrets.
Is there a secret that I don't know that for some reason...
I mean, I don't know. There are things...
Oh, no.
Nobody tells anybody 100% about themselves. Everybody has secrets of some kind. But yeah, I do have secrets.
Keep it secret, you just keep it secret.
Well, yeah, exactly. But yeah, no...
And by that, I mean, don't even allude to the fact that there is a secret.
Yeah, and I mean, I guess I should just say I'm talking more in past tense, but yeah, I have had secrets, and I kept them secret because it would have done more harm than good to reveal the secret. It was one of those things where it wasn't really hurting anybody that I knew that I knew this thing. It didn't really hurt anybody that it was even a thing at all, but me talking about it would have made it a problem. And that's as much depth as I care to go into on that. So how are we going to write out the timer?
I don't know. Okay, let me think. Have I ever kept... Wait, what was the
question?
question
Oh yeah, I guess
again?
I've done all the talking. It's do you have any secrets that you're keeping from someone, and what's keeping you from revealing it?
Do I have any secrets that I'm keeping from some...
I know of one secret that you kept for a very long time. I don't know if you ever came clean about it.
I don't know which... You know what? Ask me about that later. I don't know what you're talking about.
It's not that serious. It's the one about...
Oh! Well, no, don't talk about that one! Oh! No!
So yeah, I take that as no, you haven't come clean about that one. And for the listeners, it's super innocuous.
I don't want there to be a record of that, you fool!
There was the timer. No, I just...
You can't reveal my secrets, you heathen!
I didn't reveal it. I just kind of hinted at what it was related to.
You've implied that there is a secret! This is when I was younger and I didn't take my own advice!
What? I don't even know what you... I don't know what you mean. Maybe you're thinking of something I'm not, because what I'm thinking of is super innocuous.
I know exactly what you're thinking about. I just don't want there to be a record of it.
God damn. All right.
Ah.
Anyways, we can go in 30 minutes. You want to take an ad break?
I don't know. Has the timer run out yet?
The timer just ran out on that one, yeah. So do you want to do an ad break before we start the next one?
Is that the next question?
Sure. I'll start the timer. So timer's going. Do you want to have an ad break before we do the next question?
Well, on the one hand, we always do an ad break. But on the other hand, we could not do an ad break. Who knows? I don't know. What do you think?
I mean, ad breaks are nice. It's a chance to collect our thoughts, a chance to go, like, refill my water bottle. We're always doing ad break. It's not a question of if we're going to do one. It's more, do we need to do one right now?
What are we advertising exactly?
Ad break?
We don't get to advertisements ever. What are we advertising?
First. That's a fair point. But yeah, no, I guess the question is more, do we want to do an ad break now or later? The perk of doing it now is, I feel like you have some choice words for me about that last thing. The downside is, if this episode is one of the extra long ones, this would not be the halfway point. But we never know until we're done recording how long an episode is actually going to be.
I don't know. How long is this episode going to be? Is this going to be an hour and a half?
I don't know. We're at 35 right now is what we're at. Almost 36. 1 hour? It's going to be a minimum of an hour, but I don't know.
2 hours?
Ideally, we could stretch this indefinitely if we really wanted to.
I don't want to. I have other things I have to do tonight before I sleep.
Fair enough. And I have to sleep at some point.
Yeah, I got to pack stuff.
I got to do that. Well, no, I got to pack tomorrow. Either way, so we're doing the ad break?
I guess we are.
Yeah. Too bad we got to wait out the timer though. We have to keep the question going until the timer goes off. So yeah, what's your favorite ad break that we've done so far?
I don't know.
There's some good.
Welcome.
Hello. I am sucking on a mint.
If animals could talk, which one do you think would be the most sarcastic? Let's say dogs again.
No, I don't think dogs are sarcastic. They're very at least my dog wears his heart on his sleeve. I don't think he doesn't have the personality to be sarcastic. Honestly, I would say parrots, but they can talk, and they are kind of sarcastic sometimes.
Can't really talk, they mimic.
What are you talking about? People have taught parrots how to actually speak.
It's not, yeah, but they're not, those words don't hold meaning for them. They're not holding a conversation, they're just mimicking sounds.
No, they've taught them to do that. Like, there's one guy that taught his parrot how to, like, identify different objects, and then, like, identify what they're made of, what color they are. If you teach them, like, what certain words mean, like, they'll know the meaning. Like, you can tell them commands, and they'll do them. Like, there's one video where a parrot starts yelling at a cat because it doesn't want the cat under its cage. And he's saying, like, out, off. Like, he's saying words that he's seen humans use in that context. So he understands, like, this is what this word means. So that's what I'm going to say. I mean, I don't know. They probably don't understand it quite the same way humans do. But, they do understand the words. But which animal? I don't know.
Animal.
I don't know. Probably some kind of lizard, really. Reptiles seem like they'd be like snakes. Snakes are probably sarcastic.
Okay, when I tell you a person looks at a tank and goes, oh, boo, 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 and the animal inside is like, oh yeah, really?
Timer just went off.
Really?
Timer's off.
What animal are you thinking of though?
Timer's off. What is the longest you've gone without doing laundry?
1 week.
That's it?
I do laundry once a week.
You've never missed a week?
No.
Never once in your life?
I don't know. I don't recall any time where I didn't. I have 1 week's worth of clothes, so if I missed a week, I wouldn't have clothes to wear.
Interesting. Yeah, I don't know. For me, it's probably like 2 or 3. I'm only counting from the time I was old enough to do my own laundry. As a kid, I never did laundry, but my parents did it, so it's like, didn't really count.
Yeah, well, that was what I was counting too. It's like, since I've been doing my own laundry, I do it once a week. I mean, do you have enough clothes that you can miss a week?
Yeah. I own more than, I own a few pairs of pants and lots of shirts and lots of underwear. It's something you should own lots of.
I mean, I guess I technically have more than a week's worth, but I mean, it's not really.
I don't know. It sounds like poor planning to me.
I've only got one blue shirt. That blue shirt is for Thursdays.
Yeah, I know. Oh, there's the timer. Let's see. Have you ever thought about the possibility of extraterrestrial life? What if we discovered intelligent alien civilizations?
That's like two different questions. If I thought about it, yes. What if we discovered it? Well, I mean, I guess I'll just get it out there. I think we've talked about it. I don't think aliens exist. I don't think we'll ever discover them, and I think people who think they exist are just, it's wishful thinking at best.
I don't know. And I still say, I think the odds of nothing being out there just seems kind of unrealistic. The universe is infinite. That means infinite possibility.
It's not infinite though.
Maybe it's
People
not
always
infinite.
say that. That's not true. It's functionally infinite in that we would never be able to get to the edge of it, but it has an edge. It's just expanding so fast we'd never be able to get to it, but it's not actually infinite.
I mean, it's
So
expanding infinitely, so it's getting bigger constantly.
It will stop eventually.
Yeah,
but
then
it's
it'll
not
come
infinite.
back the other
See,
way, and we'll all die.
People always use that. They say the universe is infinite, therefore infinite possibilities. It has to happen eventually. But it's like, no, it's not actually infinite. There is a limit. So your whole infinite possibility, yeah,
It's the
infinity
same-
means that everything is possible, but it's not actually infinity, so that's not true.
Yeah, but I think it's the same thing as like that whole thing with like if you shuffle a deck of cards, there are so many different variations of a deck of cards that can be shuffled that like, oh, there's the timer. Too bad we won't get to finish that one, but I'm kind of relieved.
What if you woke up one morning and found yourself surrounded by a herd of dancing unicorns?
I would probably just go back to sleep. There's no way that wouldn't be a dream or something. I don't know.
I'll tell you what would happen to us. We would die.
Dancing unicorns, we would die? Why?
Yeah, because unicorns hate men.
Wait, which version of unicorns are we using here?
I don't know, but if we're going by like old fairy tale stuff, classic unicorns, they hate men and will gore them to death with their horns.
I thought unicorns were
The
supposed to be
chances
like
to
a
be a
sign
young-
of purity or something.
No, old unicorns are hardcore. They'll kill men. They only like chaste women who are young and give them an apple.
All right, then.
That's true. If you're a man, you don't even try.
You know what's funny, though, is that unicorns, like, the stories of unicorns probably originated from rhinos. People came back from, like, Africa. Is that where rhinos live? I feel stupid for not knowing that, but people came back from, like, and reported back on what they saw, and it's like, it looked like a big horse with horns, with a horn on its face.
How could you look at a rhino and say, yes, that looks like a horse?
How would you describe a rhino to somebody who had never seen one? You probably wouldn't use the exact words horse. You'd probably describe...
Okay, fine.
like
I
a
can't
big
use the word
four-legged
horse.
beast.
It's a big, bulky, gray thing that's all lumpy and bumpy with really thick legs and a really long face with two horns jutting out of it. And it has no hair.
See, that's not a very... Okay,
it's
first of all, they
giant.
do have hair, but that's also
The
not...
hair-
That's not a very practical explanation. I'm talking like you got to think like not how you would. How do you think somebody who had never seen a rhino, who saw one for the first time, had nothing to compare to, and they came back and reported? Oh, there's the
Thanks,
timer.
forsooth.
There's the timer. What is the first thing you do in the morning? God, that is a boring question.
Yeah, it really is. The first thing I do in the morning is sit there, not move, because when I'm awake and in bed, it's comfortable.
Yeah, no,
It's summertime. I don't have to do anything these days.
I mean, the first thing I do is wake up, but after that, I cuddle my dog, because he usually jumps up into the bed and cuddles me in the morning. It's very cute.
I ate a honeycomb yesterday.
Good for you. I'm still sucking on a mint. I did not mean to be sucking on it for this long. I always forget how long Lifesaver mints take to actually finish.
Oh, you always really were good at sucking. Ow! I wheezed too much. What do we do now?
I'm just waiting for the timer. I don't know, that's probably
As a
cheating.
lad, at
thing I
age
do in the
6,
morning.
I was
Wow.
born without a face. My father always said,
Oh, there's a timer. All right.
okay, if you could have any superpower, would you choose... Okay, this question is misleading. Would you choose the ability to sneeze confetti or the power to turn invisible when no one is looking?
Probably the power.
Confetti, honestly.
I would say the power to turn visible when nobody's looking, because sneezing confetti sounds incredibly unpleasant.
Well, it's a power, so I assume it wouldn't hurt at all. It would just be like, and then just confetti would come out.
Well, it would still be a pain in the ass to clean up after that. So I would say turn invisible, because even if when nobody's looking, I could just turn invisible, just for the heck of it. And does nobody include humans or animals or just humans?
No, just people. Well, I mean, if we're going by Invisible Boy rules from Mystery Men,
Yeah, that's what came to mind.
It can fool a surveillance system.
Yeah, that too. That's what I was saying too. Is I could be invisible to cameras.
Yeah, but does it count if somebody is looking at the screen that camera goes to at that moment? Does that count?
I wouldn't think so, because they're not actually looking at you. They're looking at, like, a photographic reproduction of you.
What counts as no one watching? Because that's a live feed.
Timer. What are your views on the ethical implications of gene editing and its potential to enhance human abilities?
Oh, terrible idea. Eugenics is too much of a slippery slope, because as soon as you start going, well, let's get the valuable traits, it's like, who determines what's the most valuable? Who's making those decisions? Who's deciding which baby? And then once you're there, it's like we've eliminated undesirable traits. What counts as undesirable? When do we get to the point where we start like, babies with autism or Down syndrome? Just get rid of them. It's like, it's too much. There's too much corruption potential.
Yeah, that's what I would say. It's like, I could see, like, the upside of it would be you could actually, like, remove, genes that would cause certain, like, there are certain, like, diseases or disabilities people can be born with that basically just completely destroy quality of life. If you could just, like, selectively gene edit those out of the human genome so that those never come up again, that seems like a good thing. But then you're right, that's a very slippery slope, because then who's to say, well, this thing is also technically bad, so let's just remove that while we're at it. And then, next thing you know, I don't know. Great movie about this, Gattaca. I recommend watching it. It's kind of like, it's kind of about this. It's not really about, yeah, I guess it is. It's like, it's in a future where humans are, like, artificially created, basically. It's like, like natural birth isn't really a thing anymore. People are like test tube babies, basically, so they can be like have their genes selected to be like the ideal human or whatever. The main character is a guy who was born naturally, who then had a brother who was born through the the traditional method for that world. He became an outcast in society, and it's basically, the whole thing is about him. Oh, there's the timer. Too bad. That's a good movie. You should watch it.
It's fine. If you could have a conversation with a color, what would you talk about?
I'd probably talk about what it's like to be a color, because a color is like that's a kind of just a construct. Really, it's a human interpretation of a certain pattern of light. So I'd probably just ask them about that, like, what actually are you in your perspective? Before we even get to how are you communicating, I would say, what even is it like to be a color? Because a color is not really a physical thing. It's kind of a descriptive term that we use for, certain frequencies of light.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't really know what I would say.
I don't know. Describe a color without using another color. You can't do it. Unless you just start making up words. Very frizzy, It's very frizzle-frazzle. This color, I describe the color red.
Frizzy is a word, though.
I describe the color red as being very bluesy.
You see the problem with that sentence, right?
No, because I made up the word. I don't care if it sounds like another color. I didn't use a color.
Fair enough.
What would the anthropomorphic personification of a color even be? Would it just be like a circle?
Time's
like a
up.
circle
Time's up. That's what I was getting at, though. Guess my turn. Do you read reviews about a movie before deciding whether to watch it or not? I feel like this is a very
Depends
obvious
which
yes
movies.
for you. Yeah, no, I'd say for me it's kind of a mixed bag. Like, sometimes I just see a movie and I know I want to see it regardless of what people say. That was like the case with Renfield. I didn't wait for reviews. I just watched it because I saw the trailer and thought it looked amazing, and I loved it.
Yeah,
and,
that one, awesome.
Yeah, and if I had read the reviews first, it probably would have kind of negatively influenced my... I don't know. Actually, honestly, probably wouldn't have heard it because I was pretty determined to like that movie regardless.
I was sold once the trailers were like, hey, Nicolas Cage is Dracula. It's like, yep, okay.
Oh, there's timer. Oh, it's your turn.
Okay. What's the most unusual flavor for a tube of oranges?
Sorry, wait, what? Repeat that?
Most unusual flavor for a tube of oranges. Oh.
Probably anything but orange.
You're not looking at the big picture.
The most unusual flavor for a tube of oranges.
How do you have a tube of oranges? What is a tube of oranges? Are they mandarins or
Well,
the other ones?
So what I pictured was like when you take, like those tubes of like tennis balls that you can buy at the store, like a can of tennis balls that kind of looks like a Pringles can. I pictured that full of oranges.
No. It's like a tube of toothpaste, and you squeeze it out, and it comes out in perfect orange slices. Like it goes, and there's just an orange slice, and then it falls off the toothpaste tube.
Gross. Don't do that.
Then you eat it, and it tastes like cookie dough.
Huh.
You can eat cookie dough toothpaste. I kind of wonder why that exists, but it does.
Cookie dough toothpaste?
Yeah.
So it's not just like cookie dough, it's actual toothpaste, like to brush your teeth with?
Yeah, but it's flavored like cookie dough. I'm not sure if that would work ever.
I don't see it tasting very good. I mean, I guess it would work. There's no reason it wouldn't work.
Is there anything to be said for what you expect a flavor to be and when it's not?
Yeah, no, absolutely. I've had things where it's like
you bite into something and it's like, oh, that's not what that should be.
Yeah, exactly. There have been times like that where I expect a flavor, and I take a bite, it's something completely different, and I dislike it for that reason. But then when I go in for a second bite, knowing what to expect, I actually enjoy it because it's like, well, now I know what I'm getting into. Because I mean, yeah, your what you expect definitely influences your perceptions, all of them. Oh, there's the timer. Let's see. What would you do if you discovered that one of your closest friends or family members was involved in illegal activities? So basically, what if you were Walter White's wife?
Letterman?
What?
Letterman have something to tell me?
I just pulled that off. Wait, do I have something? Oh, I see what you're getting at. No, I do not, as far as you know.
Are you sure? Because we talked about secrets earlier, and you implied that you had secrets, and now we get a question about one of your friends are into crimes.
It says one of your closest friends or family members.
My closest friends. How many friends do I have? All right, but the list is pretty narrow, my dude.
And your family members, though. You're forgetting your family members.
I don't know. Friends is first, and the other question about friend secrets, I'm putting it together. You killed someone.
No, I did not.
Can you swear on the Bible and prove that true?
Yes.
Put your right hand on the Bible that I'm holding right now if you didn't commit the murder.
I can't reach that Bible. It's in a different
So then you
state.
admit that you committed the crime.
You're not answering the question, though.
Hesitation.
You're
sign
not,
of a guilty
okay,
conscience.
so I guess your answer is that you would grill them endlessly?
Hey, don't change the subject.
No, so the question...
Where were you
No, we're
2
off
days
topic
ago?
here. 2 days ago...
A man is dead and you're denying it.
Who's dead?
Someone.
Someone's
Clearly, because you murdered them.
You're taking... So, it's what would you do if you
I
discovered
think I
that one of your...
here.
No, okay, so to get this
Look,
back on
I've
track,
already
if I
I've
said
already
yes...
sent them back.
So wait, if
I've
I
already
said...
So you're saying yes, you killed someone.
So
You're-
if I
that's a
did
confession.
if I did commit a crime, what you're saying you would do
okay,
is
like
what?
O.J. Simpson when he posted his book, If I Did It. Really? Nice try. Nice try. I've seen this trick before. Who did you kill and why?
I don't like this one.
Yeah, that's what people say when
Timer's
they commit a
up.
crime.
Oh my Jesus. Timer's
okay.
up.
If you could instantly become an expert in activity or hobby, what would you choose and why?
Painting miniatures.
Painting miniatures.
Seems
Why?
kind of fun. I don't know, it always seemed kind of fun, but there's a huge skill gap. I tried to paint models one time when I was little and they came out horrible, but it'd be fun, just to get like some like little Warhammer figures and paint them or something. I don't know.
What would you do with them?
Display them, play games with them. I don't know. You can play tabletop games. I've always thought that Warhammer looked fun, but I guess the bar for entry for me is the price. And that I don't know I'm not good at painting miniatures, which would kind of make it feel like I was wasting my money, to spend that much money on something that I then paint and make look like doo-doo. And even some of the board games I have, come with miniatures that are intended to be painted. Like, I have Dark Souls, the board game. All the figures in it are just like a matte gray color, clearly with the intention for you to paint them if you want. You don't have to. You can play the game perfectly without them.
No. They're matte gray. If they wanted you to paint them, they'd be a lighter color. Gray's not good for paint.
Okay, they're not matte gray. They're a very light gray color. They're the same color as Warhammer figures before you paint them. That's all I can say.
I would choose to be able to draw.
I can draw okay. I can draw well enough for everything No, I know. I
could draw. I could do the whole thing myself.
Oh, that one thing, yeah. No, I draw well. I draw as well as I care to. I'm definitely not like a great artist, but if I ever want to draw, I can draw well enough to... Oh, there's the timer. Have you ever thought about the fragility of human existence? Like how our lives can be snuffed out in an instant? It's pretty unsettling when you really dwell on it.
I like how you snuffed out the life of that one guy that you wanted. Okay.
Why do you do this?
Huh?
You never even answered. That was actually a kind of a fun question. You just like flubbed it.
I did not flub anything. You're the one deflecting. Look, I have thought about it. I don't
But
know,
the fragility of human. What do I? Wait, sorry. What?
It's just I've thought about on many occasions. It's like the human body is simultaneously the most resilient thing in all of existence, and also somehow the most fragile thing in all of existence. You have people who fall out of a plane thousands of feet and somehow they're fine. Then you have other people. One thing goes wrong, your whole body explodes.
Oh, there's a difference between external trauma and internal systems failing. You know, you can
So
survive
many
an
points of
external.
failure.
Yeah, I don't know. The human body is a weird thing. But yeah, no, it is kind of disturbing that our entire being is contained in this soft, fleshy being that can just be
I mean, we have a soul.
destroyed. I mean, if you believe in that, we do. But I think that's even beside the point, you know. It's if we die, or it's more how easy it is for us to die is kind of what this question is getting at.
I was just worried that that whatever finally kills me is going to be something really stupid.
I don't know. I honestly,
I'm
what
gonna
I think.
forget to look both ways one day, and that'll be a day.
Oh,
I
there's
get
a timer.
back
Thank
on.
God. All right. Do you ever wonder why? Oh wait, sorry, it's your turn.
Okay, if you could wear one color for the rest of your life, how often would you brush your teeth?
I would still brush my teeth every day, twice a day.
What's the one color?
That's not the question.
That's a trick question.
The question was if
Good
I could
question.
only wear one color for the rest of my life, would I still brush my teeth? And yes, I would. I would brush my
Really?
teeth the
So
same amount
you're
I would
wearing
do.
you're wearing one T-shirt forever and ever, and you're thinking, yeah, I'll keep brushing my teeth twice a day.
Yeah,
That's a
why?
necessary step.
Bad teeth isn't going to help my T-shirt predicament. I maybe
Once a day. If you're
Twice.
thorough, that's all you need.
No, because you wake up in the morning and your mouth tastes like a dumpster from sleeping,
But
and
you
bacteria
cleaned your
growing in
teeth
your mouth.
super well
There's
the
the timer.
night
There's the
before.
timer.
All right.
Have you ever questioned the concept of morality? Like, what if there are no absolute rights or wrongs, and it's all just a human construct? How would that impact our judgments and decision making? Sorry, these are more questions from Barry.
Harry. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I've certainly thought, like, there's a lot of things that I think are ultimately pretty arbitrary, but at the end of the day, I believe in a higher power, so I think there is an absolute morality.
Yeah,
Because, I mean, if you don't believe in a higher power, then there wouldn't be, and so why would you do anything? And that leads into a whole other discussion.
So I don't know. I'm not like disagreeing, but I do think it is kind of a shortcut to bring like the higher power into this question. I think it kind of like undermines the spirit of the question. You know what I mean? Like I think more what's more fun to talk about. What I think is more interesting is like even just talking purely from a human standpoint. You know, like purely from a human and like mortal standpoint. You know, all of our laws and stuff come from a human perspective on what humans believe are right and wrong. So my take on it is like maybe everything that's right and wrong is just a construct made up by humans, but ultimately we are humans living in a world made by ruled by humans. So isn't
See,
what
I don't believe in all that.
You don't believe we are humans?
No, I don't believe that we live in a world made by humans and that it's all a
No,
construct.
that's not what I meant. I meant a world. Our world is governed and dictated by humans, and that as in humans are the thing that are prevalent. You get what I'm saying?
Get what you're saying. I'm just not sure if I necessarily agree with the way you're saying it.
I think you're reading into it wrong. I'm trying to talk about this. Like I said, I think bringing a higher power into this debate kind of undermines the this question is talking about. There you go. This question was talking about morality as a human construct. And so if you say, well, it's not a human construct, that just kind of is refusing to answer the question.
Well, I don't.
Timer's
think
up.
it is because
Timer's up.
What's a fear or phobia that you have, and how has it affected your life?
I'm terrified of cockroaches and beetles.
Actually,
They make me gag. I hate them. It's cockroaches, yeah. Yeah, cockroaches probably are my phobia if I had one. One time I bought a PlayStation off the internet and it came full of cockroaches. Yeah, that was a rough day.
really?
Yeah, you not heard this story?
No.
I guess it's technically on topic. So yeah, we wanted to buy a PlayStation 4. We got one off the internet, off a certain website, not eBay. One that I don't use anymore called... Well, it rhymes... it rhymes with Burkari, but it starts with an M. It's a website.
Oh, I know that place.
It's basically the same thing as like eBay, kind of. It's slightly different, but yeah, basically we bought it. We found a good deal on a PlayStation 4. We bought it, and then some guy tried to scam us. They sent us a PlayStation full of cockroaches, and it was full. That's pretty much the gist of it. I opened the box, a cockroach fell out, and I looked at it closer and realized the whole thing was full of cockroaches. So we sealed it in a garbage bag, left it on the porch. We somehow managed to get our money back for it through a long and arduous process that I don't ever care to repeat, and that's why I don't use Mercari anymore. The scammer almost got away with it. We caught him last second. Like, literally, we had to do, like, the whole return process, and we wouldn't get our money back until the package was, like, received on his end, as, like, reported by the Postal Service. But then, you know, he apparently set his return address as a local business that didn't accept packages. So, basically, we got a notification, like, days later. Like, it was going all the way back to, like, Pennsylvania or something. He got it. It got back to him. We got a notification that the package had been rejected. Timer's up. Bummer. Oh, shoot. No. The music. I broke it. There we go. Fixed it.
Okay.
Anyways. Your turn. Oh, wait, no, it's my turn.
No, I asked that question.
What do you think about the darker side of human nature, the potential for cruelty and violence that lies within us all? It's a disturbing thought, isn't
these
it?
questions?
They're coming from our good friend Barry.
I think about the darker side of human nature. I mean, like what? Like in general? Like,
yeah. What do you think about the? What do you think about the potential for cruelty and violence that lies within us all? It's a disturbing thought, isn't it?
What do I think about? I mean, I guess it's like, what do I think? Because it's just self-evident. I don't really know how to answer that question. What do you think about it?
I mean, I think it is a disturbing thought that humans are capable and have done horrible things, and that technically any of us could go and do something terrible if we wanted to, but I think that gives more meaning to the fact that we choose to do good.
All right, then.
Yeah, I don't know. The fact, it's kind of a yin-yang situation. You can't have one without the other. We wouldn't know good without evil, so evil must exist for us to recognize good when it happens. That's kind of my take on it. If our default action was always just to do the good and right thing, it wouldn't really have any meaning. That would just be humans running on autopilot. But the fact that we know that humans are capable of doing wrong, but still choose to do right, that's, yeah. This timer's still going. Are you going to contribute to this discussion?
Well, I want to, but I know I'm just going to get shut down, so I'm just not this time.
What do you mean you're going to get... Forget it. Timer's off. What do you think about...
Right.
Oh, wait. It's your turn.
What's one thing about yourself you find difficult to accept or embrace?
Probably my obsessive-compulsive disorder. It's kind of a pain in the ass most of the time.
All right, then. Let's see, difficult to accept. That's, The way the question is worded is making it difficult to answer. Because if the question was just, what are some personal issues you know you have? It's like, okay, I can explain that. It's like, I accept that they exist. I'm just not doing anything about some of them. So it's like, I don't know if that's the same thing. I don't know. I don't really know how to answer this question.
I mean, it was your question.
Yeah, but I asked it to you.
Yeah, but we're both supposed to... It's a conversation starter. It's not an objective question. That's what I'm saying. We're not looking for a direct answer, a correct answer to any of these. That's kind of... I think that's what you were alluding to when you said I shut you down. It was more, I was just saying I wanted to get a question... I wanted to talk about it in more depth than that. Like, the answer you were giving just wasn't... You know what I mean? Like
yeah, but it's... Well, the answer I was giving, but it's still my answer. So it's like, I don't know what to do now.
No, I know, but then... There was the timer. We got into it.
All right.
Maybe we need to take a quick aside.
Don't worry, I got some funny questions now.
Good, we need that. But I guess as a quick aside, I don't mean to shut down any of your conversations. It was more, I think, you started to shut down my answer because it didn't align with what you had said for your question or for your answer.
Well, it just feels like because I know why you do it. You're like in your efforts to keep the podcast neutral. You want to stray away from certain topics. But I feel like some of these questions inevitably lead to our beliefs on certain topics, and it's like, well, I can't answer this because you don't want me to say that. But I don't know.
It's not that I don't want you to. I want to be able to talk about it from multiple perspectives, though. That's what I'm saying. I don't want to take it only from the perspective of like a religious perspective. I want to be able to look at it too from just like, what would someone say about this who doesn't believe in that stuff? Because that's where interesting discussion happens.
I think interesting discussion can happen wherever you have it if both people just are honest.
This episode got a lot deeper than we intended.
What would be the title of your autobiography?
That's a good one. You go first. I'm thinking.
Okay, the title of my autobiography would be, the autobiography of a man who has no interesting stories, hyphen, read it anyways because you'll have a good time, the Michael Scott story.
Oh my God. Did you just quote this? Did you just quote The Office?
No, I just added that in at the end because I thought, I have no idea, like, my life is not interesting enough to be an autobiography.
No, but what if you had like a theme for your life, what would it be?
There's my title. My life is not interesting to justify enough to just this book.
There you go. Mine would probably be something like, well, I guess this is it. Just something very, I don't know. Or, look, I wrote a book.
Here I am, once again, feeling lost, but now and then. Breathe it in and let go.
How dare you? Anyways, yeah. What would I call my? Yeah, I guess I would just call it like a book about me. No, probably something
Book
alluding
of Futterman,
to
the Futterman story, living in a town.
It would probably be something like, well, I made it this far.
I wrote a book and you bought it, so one of us is more successful.
I wrote a book and you bought it, so one of us is a sucker. Timer up. All right. If you could have any useless superpower, what would you pick?
Oh, okay. We've thought about this so many times. Let me think. Are we meaning like useless, like you would think it was useless, or it's actually useless?
I mean, I would think it's actually useless, but I guess it's up to interpretation. I mean, I feel like if it sounds useless but actually has a use, then it's not useless, and that's not really what the question is.
Because it's like, if it's truly useless, like there's no secondary usage you can get out of it.
Yeah. Okay, so mine would probably be just like the ability to change the color of anything. I don't know. Except that is pretty useful, isn't it?
Well, I'll take the ability to make small objects switch places.
There you go. I mean, I guess this is the same as like. I guess this is the same as the ability to like be invisible when no one's looking. That really.
One of my favorites is the ability to fly, but only north.
Well, that's not useless. I mean, that's still useful.
Not really, because you can only go north.
There's the timer. I mean, there's stuff north. You're always south of something.
You'd get stuck eventually. You'd be trapped at the North Pole.
Oh yeah, it's your turn, I guess. I don't know why I'm thinking about this.
It's the funniest thing to, oh hey, look it. If you can have any superpower, but it can only be used for mundane tasks, what could it be?
This feels like the same question.
No, now we can continue.
Okay, so if you have superpower that can only be used for mundane tasks.
Yeah, mundane superpowers. To get 50% or more off of my car insurance.
I think this would be more like you have the ability to fly, but you only use it for your commute to work. It's kind of more what this would be.
You know what? Here, here's a mundane superpower. The ability to not be noticed by people.
I mean, I can do that already.
Yes, but I mean, like, you get, like, not noticed to the point that people forget that they saw you after you leave if you want them to.
Huh. I don't know.
You could do so much.
Well, to me, this question, the difference between this question and the previous one is like it's truly a useless superpower. This one, it's a useful superpower, but you're only using it for incredibly mundane things. So, like, the ability to, I don't know, switch places with anybody, but you only ever use it on people that are doing nothing. I don't know.
Ability, okay, here's one. The ability that whenever I need something to conveniently tune in to a television broadcast or radio thing or something, just whenever I need something, something will come up that will be advertising a contest with the exact thing that I need.
That's a good one.
The ability to reach into my pocket and always pull out exact change.
The plot convenience power. I don't know.
I want the ability to always turn on the TV and be.
Timer's up. What would you want your last meal to be if you were on death row?
My last meal.
You can go ahead first.
Oh, do you have one?
Yeah, chicken parmesan.
Go first.
Chicken parmesan. It's,
okay.
It's fried. You know what that is, right? It's like spaghetti pasta, or just pasta with like bolognese, or not bolognese, but just like tomatoes.
Pasta and noodles and it's
sauce.
some parmesan on it.
No, not parmesan. No, it's chicken. It's like a chicken breast that's flattened out and breaded, and then like either fried or baked. Yeah, and then it's got cheese. It's very delicious. It's very carb heavy and delicious.
All right. Okay. I want a bottle of nitroglycerin.
That's not a meal.
And it would be a meal. That's what I want.
You can't drink nitroglycerin.
No, but I can throw it at the wall and escape.
Yeah, no, they're not going to give you. No, it has to be an actual food. Come on. No,
fine.
don't give the bull crap answer. This is a question intended to find someone's true favorite food, like the last thing they would eat on this planet.
All-you-can-eat buffet, so that I never finish and they can't execute.
See, no, you're looking for loopholes to avoid the execution. That's not what this question's about. This question is about.
What I've made it about.
You like to dodge the question and just make it about whatever you know.
I'm not dodging the question. I'm answering a different question that was
that's
within
not
the
what
first question.
The question is, if you were gonna die and you could only eat one more thing, what is your favorite? What food would you want to go out on?
Strawberries, because they're not in season yet, and so they have to delay the execution, and I find a way to escape.
You're no fun. I like to. Seriously, what would you eat? Like, there's the timer. Thank God.
Human, long pig.
All right. I guess it's your turn. I don't know what I'm looking at this for.
Invent a holiday. What would it be called, and how would people celebrate it?
Invent a holiday. I was gonna say, I don't know, national. See, that's the problem. Is I try to think of like National Something Day, but pretty much anything I can think of already exists, most likely.
No, a real holiday, not one of the many like, this day, it's a random day, it's a holiday.
Gotcha.
No, a real holiday.
Well, that's the question I want to answer.
Like one of the big 8.
One of the big 8.
How many are there?
I don't know.
New Year's, Valentine's, St. Patrick's Day, Easter,
There's
July
a lot more
4th.
Than 8.
On July 4th, Halloween, Thanksgiving, Christmas.
Oh, there's the timer.
8.
All right. What cartoons did you watch as a child?
Cartoons didn't I watch as a child? Wait, actually, now when we're talking child, what's the range here?
Whatever you interpret to mean child, I would say.
Because if we're going from when I was young to when I was 17, then a lot of things.
Probably before you were a teenager, like when you were an actual child.
Let me pick the actual my formative childhood cartoons. The early seasons of SpongeBob, Fairly Odd Parents. What's it called? I just forgot what it was called. Yes, Jimmy Neutron. What else did I watch when I was young? Oh yeah, What's New Scooby-Doo? That was my childhood Scooby-Doo.
Oh yeah, that was a good one.
Then Mystery Incorporated was when I got a little bit older.
Yeah. Here, I guess I'll give a few of mine before timer runs out.
Would have been like middle school, I guess.
SpongeBob, Fairly Odd Parents, those were big ones. Jimmy Neutron. One of my all-time favorites was Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends.
Oh yeah, that one's on
Network. There. Yeah, that one's a favorite.
Camp Lazlo.
Camp Lazlo, that one's great. I wish I could still find somewhere to watch
I watched Courage. I didn't watch Courage.
Oh yeah, Courage Cowardly Dog was a huge one for me. I love that show.
Adventure Time. Well, I guess that didn't really start until high school.
Yeah, I didn't watch that one either. Scooby-Doo.
The
Yeah,
problem is
I
that I
watched a lot of
still watch
Scooby-Doo.
cartoons now, so it's like I don't remember when I first necessarily saw all of
I don't know.
these.
Timer went off. Your turn.
All right, what's the weirdest thing you've eaten, and did you like it?
I've eaten octopus. Does that count?
I'm sorry, octopus is the weirdest thing you've eaten?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't know if that
Octopus?
counts. It's not that weird, but I have eaten
I have
that.
cans of octopus. I eat that on a regular basis.
Yeah, I've actually got kind of moral problems with eating octopus now, because I don't know. They're
I don't.
arguably too smart to be eaten, but I feel like people probably would say the same thing about cows. But octopus, though, are actually a lot smarter than cows.
See,
I don't know.
I don't really know. Okay. This is an interesting conversation. This is an interesting thing I've actually been thinking about a lot lately. I don't know if intelligence matters if you don't. Okay, so regardless of what you believe, I personally do not. I believe that souls exist, but I don't believe that animals have souls. So when people tell me these animals are intelligent, I always wonder, does intelligence matter if there's no soul behind it? Because I'm operating from the premise that the soul is a real thing. And since that's what the true essence of a person is, then, if, in my opinion, an animal does not have that. So even if they're smart, they don't have like a sense of self in the same way, because they can do things that are more complicated than like an insect, let's say, but they're not like, it's all show. Like there's nothing behind it. So does it matter if they're intelligent? That's what I've been thinking about lately.
Yeah, see, I guess I can't even really contribute to that discussion because, yeah, I don't agree with most of what you just said.
Well, fair enough. I'm just saying that's
Yeah.
what I've been thinking about
yeah,
that
no,
a while.
that's
for a while.
not. Yeah, no. The way I look at it more, I don't. Oh, there's the question. There's the timer.
I'll keep going. I want to see where this goes.
No, timer's up. That's the rule.
Oh,
Where's the last place you went on vacation?
fine.
That one's kind of boring, isn't it?
Counts as a vacation because I mean, like we went up to in the woods a while ago.
That counts. Camping trips are
So, okay, then that place.
Cool.
And that place is where we went.
What did I do? My last vacation? I went there a few weeks ago. There as in where you are.
Is that a vacation?
Kinda, yeah. I mean, I took time off. No, I guess I didn't actually. It was just a long weekend. I didn't actually take time off work for that. Just landed on Memorial Day. Sheesh. Yeah, I don't know. I haven't really done vacations. I don't know.
If you want to go on a vacation, you just go to the river and be like, beach day.
It's not a vacation, though. To me, a vacation is like an extended time away from work and
So
responsibility.
work, but you don't have to go. You don't have to leave your town for it to be a vacation.
Not necessarily. You can have a stay-at-home vacation. Staycation is a thing.
I don't know if a staycation counts as a real vacation.
I think it does. To me, a vacation is a break.
A break.
To
but
me,
it's not a
a vacation isn't. Yeah, I don't know. I guess to me, a vacation is a break. It doesn't really matter where you do it.
Remember that one time in SpongeBob where they were doing like vacation-themed episodes and they were all terrible?
Yeah, I remember that.
They had like Patrick's staycation.
I actually can't remember where I went on vacation last. Have I ever had a vacation? I remember going to Disneyland as a kid. Was that the last time?
Yeah, well, did you like stay in a hotel while you were doing that?
In Disneyland? Yeah, I mean...
Okay, then that would be a vacation. That counts.
No, I stayed at home and went to Disneyland.
How'd you do that?
Never mind. No, I'm sorry. That was just a weird question. Did I stay in a hotel when I went to Disneyland? The timer's up.
Okay, my turn. Now I want to hear where you're going with this. If you want to, can I ask what's your opinion view on the soul?
Is that the question?
It's a question that I've asked.
So is this the question? I guess I'm asking, do I start the
yes,
timer?
that's the question.
Okay.
Start the timer. What's your opinion on the soul? I want to hear what you were gonna say.
I believe... Oh, wait, I don't remember what I was going to say last... Oh, yeah, no, last time I was saying, like, I disagree. I think I believe... So, a soul... I think I believe in a soul. Like, I believe there's some part of us that isn't just inherently bound to our human form. Like, I believe that. I believe animals have that too, though. Like, dogs... Like, I believe my dog has a soul just because the way he behaves and the way he acts resembles a lot of how a human acts in certain ways. And it just seems very... just pessimistic to believe that it's all just show and that they're basically just organic machines. Like, that's pessimistic and depressing and just also doesn't feel very realistic. and this is coming from someone who studied psychology, I think that, animal minds are too complex to not... Oh, timer's up. So for this next one, do you want one from our friend Barry, or do you want a total random one from a website? You want a Barry question or a non-Barry question, I guess?
Fine, give me a Barry question. They're probably more interesting.
Let's talk about existential dread. That overwhelming sense of insignificance in the grand scheme of the universe. How do you cope with that feeling? I have an answer.
How do I cope with that feeling? Okay, you know what? How do I cope with that feeling? Okay, you go first.
Yeah, so this is a question about nihilism, but I'll let you go first, actually. Since I asked the question, you get to answer first.
All right. Okay, fine. How do I cope? You're going to say it's a cop-out, but how do I cope with that feeling? Because I believe that we're in a God, and I believe that that's our purpose. So that's the comfort I have.
Yeah, no, I mean, I guess that's fair. I would say my answer is that, I don't know, I disagree with saying insignificant because the grand scheme of the universe. Because, I mean, I believe in a God too, but aside from that, I also don't think even people that don't believe in a God, I don't think that that's necessary to find purpose in existence. You know what I mean?
You need something to believe in.
Isn't just... Oh, I didn't start the timer. Okay.
Well, I guess we get extra time on this
Fine,
one then.
Yeah. Just being human in itself is something to be appreciated, I think. I think that, you know what? I think that, the universe is really a subjective thing. Our personal existence is what we make of it. Our life is what we make of it. I think getting bogged down in the fact that there's a big universe out there that we don't have any, actual weight on, I don't think that's a reason to get depressed. I think you're just looking too big, because you have a lot of impact on the lives of the people around you, and that's way more important. Who cares if, there's planets out there that we'll never see or touch? I mean, I guess that's kind of what this is getting at. I guess this is getting at the fact that... Oh, timer's up.
All right. If animals could talk, which animal do you think would be the rudest animal?
Definitely...
The most sarcastic, the rudest.
Definitely crows.
I would think it'd be magpies.
Nah, crows are worse. Crows actually are rude. That's the thing, too. Crows don't even talk, and they are rude.
Crows do talk.
Oh, actually, they
wait,
can
ravens
talk.
talk.
No, crows can talk, too. They can mimic human speech, just like parrots can.
I think only ravens can do that. I don't think crows can do that.
No, crows can do that, too. They're both corvids.
They can?
Yeah. Here, let's Google it. Can crows talk? Although animals don't really have language the way humans do, animal languages can have many similar words. Crows don't talk, in quotes, but they do communicate with a variety of sounds.
So, yes.
Wait, can crows talk? They do indeed have the ability to talk. While they don't exhibit an actual grasp of the human language, crow can mimic complex words and sounds. So there you go. So I guess they're not quite like parrots in that they really understand. I don't know. I guess I don't know if parrots really... I don't know what they mean by that. But yeah, crows can talk.
They can mimic human speech. That's what we wanted to know.
Yeah, there you go. They can talk, and they are rude. So... yeah, probably crows. Probably cats, too, honestly. I have a cat now, and... Jeez. She's got a personality. There's the timer. My turn, I guess. Barry question or non-Barry question?
All right, let's see what our friend Barry has to say.
Let me see if there's any here we haven't done yet. Well, okay, this one... Do you ever wonder what happens to our consciousness after death? It's such a mysterious... fine, let's do it. I feel like we've kind of already touched on this one, but yeah, what do you think happens to our consciousness after death? It's such a mysterious and unknown realm, it can't help but ponder the possibilities. What do you think happens to us after
we
death?
go to heaven or hell, depending on what we believe.
Yeah, no, I believe that there is some part of us that continues on. I think a lot of people believe that. Even people that aren't religious, I think, a lot of people do believe that death isn't necessarily the end. Some people believe in reincarnation. Yeah, no, I believe that there is some kind of grand afterlife, heaven, hell, whatever you want to call it. I believe it exists. Because, I don't know. Yeah. I don't know.
That question ended up being very short.
Well, I mean, we've kind of already touched on it. But, yeah, no, I believe in something. Yeah, I believe in an afterlife. I don't believe we stay here on Earth, though. I don't think that's true. Like ghosts kind of afterlife. I don't think that's a thing.
No, I don't believe in ghosts. Don't think they exist, and there you go.
I don't know. I believe there are things that we don't understand that exist, but I don't know if they're like human humans or ghosts or spirits or any of that kind of stuff. That ended up being kind of a boring one. Let's ask for more berry questions for next time. More berry questions. Sorry, I'm using... I'm just typing more berry questions, please.
Okay. All right, well, here we go. Here's one for you. If you were a professional wrestler, what would be your entrance theme song? Pick a real song, and what would your signature move be called?
All right, entrance song would be Mambo Number 5, and my signature move would also be called the Mambo Number 5.
What would that entail? What do you do in the Mambo Number 5?
That's a good question. I hop on their backs and ride them to the liquor store.
My would be the anime cover of the Craig of the Creek theme song, and my signature move would be called Send 'em Up River, where I'd punch them so hard that they slide under the ropes and into the audience.
Nice.
Oh.
We got more time.
Another one.
Yeah.
I Will Always Love You, but sung by JonTron. And a signature move would be called Heartbreak. And it would just be me hucking various cases of terrible video game sequels at them.
Let's see. I'm trying
Someone
to think
from the audience would throw me a bag, and I'd just start hucking them at them until they submitted.
I'm trying to think if I don't really have any other good answers.
The Tetris theme, and my signature move would be called Bubble Bobble.
Tetris theme. No, it'd be the Tetris theme, and your signature move is the long straight piece.
Long piece.
Long line piece. And it's where you just turn yourself you just stand up straight and just plank on top of them until they submit.
Yeah. I launch myself laterally while keeping my body perfectly straight directly into their gut.
Why do we have such a long timer on this? There's the timer. Okay. Timer went off. Let's do a non-berry question. What do you fear is hiding in the dark? Not a berry question, I will say.
Are you sure this wasn't Barry?
I don't know. Maybe Barry crept over to this other website, but this did not come from...
What do I fear is in the dark?
What do you fear is hiding in the dark?
You know, I guess at the end of the day, I know that nothing is hiding in the dark, but at the same time, I don't like dark spaces where there's not an obvious exit.
That's creepy as hell, yeah.
If I'm moving through a regular space, it's fine. If I'm in a closed room, not as much. But it's like if I'm in the room and I'm hiding there, then it really is very situational. I just don't like the idea. I don't like leaving space for there to be something behind me. I don't think anything will ever be there. I just don't want to have the option to be there.
It's a very natural human instinct, I believe. Yeah, no, I mean, the real answer is our imagination. Oh, there's the timer. Your turn.
All right, what's the most ridiculous product to have on a Black Friday sale?
Most ridiculous product to have on Black Friday? Is this asking, like, ones I've actually seen, or what, hypothetically?
Create a Black Friday sale for a ridiculous product. That's the question.
So I have to create a product, or I have to sell something? I'm here. You go first. Show me what I'm supposed to do with this one.
Black Friday sale, 50% off of spittoons and urinary.
Urinal cakes.
The hospital thing that you piss into.
Bedpan.
Yeah, 50% off of bedpans. There you go.
Buy one, get one free. There's so much comedic potential, and I can't think of anything.
Come on!
Bath mats. Buy one, get one free, except that actually makes a lot of sense.
Our sale. Buy 3, get the 4th one at 75% off. Decks of playing cards that are missing their ace of spades. Just got them in a big pile over here.
Timer's up. Oh yeah, I guess it's my turn now. Let's do another non-berry question. Does fashion help society in any way?
No!
No?
No, it does not!
Wait, what do you define as fashion? Like when you hear fashion, what
I think
comes?
fashion. I think of all the stupid trends and the magazines and
Oh,
the
you're talking like
stupid people
runway
who are,
model
like,
fashion?
high fashion models, and they're all predatory. They prey on people's insecurities, and they're all stupid. They do
Yeah,
not help.
no,
Just
no.
let people wear clothes. Wear practical clothes, and just wear what you want to wear. That isn't inappropriate, and you will all be fine.
Yeah, no, I would say that like runway fashion, that kind of like runway model, like absurd, like that's kind of an absurdist form of art in itself. I don't think that's really meant to like be setting the trend for what we wear in our day-to-day lives. In our day, oh, there's the timer. Bummer. Your turn.
Okay.
Oh,
All
yeah,
right, you get to live inside of a video game for 1 week. Which game and why?
probably Animal Crossing, just so I don't die. You can't die in that game.
You can.
It's very chill.
You can die in Animal Crossing.
No, you can't.
That's what you think. You know about Welcome to Camp?
I know about Animal Crossing creepypastas, and they're all bad.
Found this one years ago, and then I had to find it years later.
Yeah, no,
Right.
Yeah, no, that's probably a boring answer, but that's probably... Oh, there's the timer. Okay. Okay, one word. What would be your game?
Probably pick Mario.
Fair enough. All right. Has anyone ever saved your life?
Physically or in a long-term sense?
Whatever you think that question is implying. Or I say both. I don't know. Has anyone ever physically saved your life?
I don't think so.
My answer is yes on that one, actually. I had a severe allergic reaction to some Tom Kha a few months ago. The paramedics definitely saved my life that time.
What the heck what's Tom Kha?
Some kind of like Vietnamese, or not Vietnamese, Thai soup. I got it from like a Thai restaurant, and then I just had some severe allergic reaction to one of the ingredients. Don't even know which one. Haven't eaten there since. But yeah, my throat started to close. Paramedics came to my house and gave me shots of epinephrine and stuff and took me to the hospital. I probably would have died if I hadn't. It didn't get to the point where I actually couldn't breathe.
How has this story never come up?
Probably because it kind of had I guess I didn't realize I hadn't told you about it. Yeah, no, this was a few months ago. I just had lunch, met my old boss for lunch. We went to the Thai place, and yeah, it was good soup, not to die for.
I figured, hey, dude, I almost died eating some soup. I figured you would have brought that up at some point.
To say
but
I
never
almost
did.
died is like kind of exaggerating. Like I just used it as an example for this question because I can. Because technically, yeah, if I had just left it unattended, I probably would have died. But I got on top. I recognized pretty quickly I was having an allergic reaction. I took Benadryl right away. Then, yeah, my wife sent the paramedics. And, yeah. I was totally fine. I wasn't at any point where like I was about to like stop breathing or pass out or anything. I just could tell that that's the direction it was going if I didn't get immediate help. So yeah, it wasn't even really a close call. It's just, yeah, like my face was swelling, my tongue was swelling, my throat was starting to get a little bit harder to breathe. Timer's up. So yeah, no, someone has saved my life.
What would your superpower be if it was based on your most embarrassing moment? What is that? What?
Oh, that's so bad.
All right, what is it?
Probably inability to filter what I say.
That's not a superpower. That's just a guess.
Well, I don't know. How do you make a superpower out of an embarrassing moment?
Not really sure. I'm also thinking because it's like, okay, wait, embarrassing how? Like, because if we're going like the moment I feel the most shame over, I have no idea how to make that into a power.
Which moment is that, if you don't mind me asking? Do I know of this moment?
Oh, you don't. I specifically have never told you this.
Okay. Was it something I was even around for? Like, was this before you
No, you
even
weren't
knew me?
around for it.
I mean, like, what, did you know me at the time?
I did. I
There's
just
the
don't like
timer.
talking about it. Every time I think about it, I cringe and punch myself in the mental head.
I've got stuff like that. Timer ran out.
That's
Okay.
a very question, man.
Let's see. Let's talk about the concept of time. It's fascinating how it shapes our lives and yet remains such a mysterious force. Do you ever feel like time is slipping away too quickly? How does that make you reflect on your own mortality?
I don't know, man. Time is weird, okay? You know, there was once a time when I was in elementary school, and now I'm here, and I don't know how that happened, and everything's in the past. And if in a few years, that will be where I am, and this will be in the past. I don't know where it all goes.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's like, I don't really like calling time a mysterious force. It's more just a measure of what's happened. You know, it's like time's not pushing us forward. It's just time things happen over a course of time. We don't have control over time, but it doesn't control us either. Time just exists.
The thing for me about time is just the fact that it's constantly in the past. Because I live through my life every day, and then one day I'm here, and I think back at everything I've done, and it's like, wow, I used to be there, and now I'm here. And then that's going to just keep happening. I was once in first grade looking forward to when I'd be in second grade. How do I know I didn't just pop into existence right now with all these memories?
Well, now you're getting into it. Now you're getting into a different topic entirely. I don't even think that's worth thinking about.
It's always in the past. It's perpetual. I'm living through it, but it's like it's always in the past, because when I stop to think about it, then it's like I think about everything in the past. How did I get here?
Well, see, that's why I really disagree with the whole live in the moment mentality, because like,
weird.
You know, ultimately, there's the timer. Your turn.
Okay. If you could turn any activity into an Olympic sport, what would you choose and how would you score points?
I would say Olympic Lego building. Everyone would be given the same set, and you'd be timed on how fast you can build it. And it'd be a set that would be one that was like an original set released for that event, so that nobody could have practiced it ahead of time. And it would be like,
oh gosh,
big
you know
sets.
What you're doing? You're creating a huge scalper market, and I hate you for that.
A scalper market?
Yeah, because those Olympic Lego sets are going to go onto eBay for like thousands and thousands of dollars, and no one can ever get them.
No, it'd probably be more like sets would be pre-released for that, and then end up on store shelves after. It's kind of how I picture it going.
Like the NES cartridge where it was
I
like for
know
that one video game. It'd be like
the
that.
World Champion cartridge. No, that's not what I picture it being more like. It'd be more like, hey, here's a new Lego Star Wars set. Before it goes to store shelves, we're going to use it in this Olympic event to promote it. And now you can all go buy this set in stores now. Or maybe the judge would have to like come up with some sort of Lego design that then everyone else would have to replicate without instructions. And whoever gets the closest one.
Trying to think of anything I do that would be like, this would be fun.
Olympic Lego building. I actually kind of want that now.
Well, too bad. You're never getting it. It's a pipe dream.
Well, I know it is.
Olympic Olympus.
What's Olympus?
You have to put on a toga, scale the mountain where we built a replica of the Parthenon, and then you have to yell out the name of a Greek god and what decrees you issue out among the mortals. After this point, you have to have gathered a coven of followers beforehand who are ready with a sacrifice of live boar, which they then burn because the odor is pleasing to you. Once you've done this, you need to grab one of the lightning bolt pieces that have been put in a bucket nearby. It's actually just an iron in the shape of a lightning bolt, and it's been electrified with a battery.
Oh, timer's up. Timer. All right. Let's see. Have you ever contemplated the nature of reality? Like, what if everything we perceive is just an elaborate illusion or a product of our own minds? It's trippy to think about. So this is kind of touching on what you were talking about.
You know what? I actually have thought about this, and my answer is that's stupid. Because whenever people talk about any version of what if we don't know if what we're seeing is real. There's no objective reality. This could all be made up. We could be in a simulation. Any version of that is like, no, that's dumb. Stop it.
Yeah, and this kind of touches back on, I think, points I've kind of made already. It's basically everything ultimately happens through our own perspective. Everything is subjective to our own experience. That doesn't make it any less meaningful. That just means that that's how we see it. You know? Our subjective reality is meaningful to us. We need to find meaning in it.
But see, I don't think... Okay, there's a subjective It's like people, they take it to such an extreme. They're like, you don't know that the color blue that I see is the same color blue you see. And
exactly.
It's like, okay,
so
sure.
what?
But we're talking about like the standard deviation of eyesight, okay? There's going to be a couple outliers, but for the most part, the blue that we see is the blue we all see. And wondering about it is pointless navel gazing.
Oh, no, that's more just like, colors are our brain's interpretation of different light patterns. So how do we know, like, if you were to jump into someone else's views, like, maybe their red would be blue, and that's just what they're conditioned to see. And it's like, oh, there's the timer. Yeah.
All right, then. Okay, hold on, I'm gonna... Once if I were a sailor I would be a sailor on the boat in the seven briny seas. Okay, here we go. If you were stranded on a desert island with 3 things, what would you want to have with you? And it specifically says no boats or planes allowed.
Okay, I would want one of those amphibious vehicles that the military has that are both a car
That's
and a
what I was
boat.
thinking too.
No, okay. No, real answer though, I would probably want some kind of fire starter, some kind of pan to boil water and cook food in. So like a pot, a fire starter, and trying to think. What's the last thing? Rope. A big roll of rope, or yeah,
Rope.
rope.
Oh, rope? You already asked me that. No.
What would be your 3?
Okay, well, it just says 3 things. So
Actually,
my
satellite
first
phone.
thing-
Why didn't I say that? Satellite phone's my
Okay,
third
my
thing.
first thing is the portal gun from Rick and Morty, and then I just
Oh.
teleport away from the island.
You're boring. That's not
No,
the
I
point of
just
the
liked-
question.
I liked it. Just said no boats or planes.
Yeah, I know, but I don't know. Yeah, no.
Okay, fine. I want a GPS locating device that is pinged off to my location and is alerting people where I am.
Yeah, there you go. So that's kind of what I said, like a GPS phone. Oh, there's the timer. Yeah, basically a way to contact rescue and then ways to survive. Anyways, let's see what Barry has to say. What are your thoughts on the potential downsides of technological advancements? From privacy concerns to the erosion of genuine human connections, there's a lot to unpack when it comes to the impact of technology on our lives.
You know what? I've decided, and I know it's ironic given the medium here, but I've decided I hate technology and that we should stop making it as fast as we're making it.
Yeah, I mean, we're definitely overextending. But
We don't have the maturity to handle this, and it's ruining everyone.
yeah, no, we definitely were not a society that was ready to have, we were not ready to be a global civilization, and the internet just kind of accelerated that. So it's like, while there are some amazing things that have come out of technology, yeah, I think if there's any way to slow the pace, we should, but there's no stopping this train.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I think,
we're
I
all
don't know.
boned.
I think it's a mixed bag. I think technology is bad, and it has bad downsides and stuff, but it's also done some amazing things. It's connecting the world is a good thing in theory. It's just, I don't know. So yeah, it's kind of a mixed bag.
Internet is simultaneously the best and worst invention humanity created.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, there's a timer. Your turn.
All right.
And how much longer do you want to keep
Okay.
this going?
I don't know. How long have we been going?
It's like an hour and a half total now.
Oh,
little
wow.
more.
Okay. All right, man. Right now, write a personal theme song for yourself that plays whenever you enter a room, like in a sitcom. Go.
Boom, 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 boom. Psh. Yes, that is the Seinfeld theme. No, it would probably just be. It'd probably just be like some kind of guitar riff. I don't know. I'm not at all musically talented. This is a terrible question for me.
He's here. He's here. He's here. He's gonna make your lives hell because he's gonna talk to you lots and he's gonna talk a lot and you're gonna tuck your ear off. You're gonna never escape until he feels like leaving. He's
supposed to have
here.
lyrics?
He's here. What? I don't know. I'm making mine have lyrics. Once there was a man and he walked into the room. He looked over at you and said, "Hey, you want to talk on Zoom?" And you said, "No, we're right here. Why wouldn't we just talk right here?" And he said, "No."
Timer's up.
And then he punched you in the ear.
Let's dive into the realm of conspiracy theories. Some are outlandish, but others make you question what you're being told. Are there any conspiracy theories that you find intriguing or unsettling?
I have one conspiracy theory that it's my personal theory that I believe in.
Do tell.
Okay, so I think that I think that frankly all of the propaganda against vapes was entirely cooked up by the state governments by state governments because they can't tax vapes the same way they can tax tobacco. So even though vaping is by every metric a better alternative to smoking and would seem to serve the interest of getting people to smoke less, they can't get as much money off of it. So I think that all this propaganda was funded to discredit vapes for the sole purpose of being able to get the government more money.
I mean, that's probably part of it. I think it's more that like vapes are great as an alternative to smoking, like if you're trying to get off of smoking, but they do have their own negative downsides if you're just vaping. So I think it's more like they're trying to discourage people from starting vaping that would have otherwise not engaged with any form of smoking.
Yeah, but that's not what they do. They've like they've run a propaganda campaign against vapes for a while. They always go on and on about how they don't want people smoking, and then when there's finally an alternative to smoking where people can still do tobacco and get the high
timer.
from it.
Oh yeah.
The most inappropriate thing to say at a wedding.
The most inappropriate thing to say at a wedding?
Yeah.
Maybe this time they're right. What's your answer?
Let me think. Okay. No, I've known him for a long time, and let me tell you, you're definitely like the third prettiest girl he's dated, but that's okay. You guys seem great together. He may have slept around in the past, but he's a changed man. He'll settle down with you. You don't have to worry.
A much longer answer than I think was expected.
I could keep going. I could make a whole speech here.
Well, I'm glad you didn't do this at my wedding.
Oh, why would I have?
Yeah.
It'd be so rude.
Oh, exactly. Yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to think if I have any other answers. Pretty much anything implying that this isn't going to last is probably the worst thing to say at a wedding.
He only said, I'm only into fat ladies, but you know what? I think that you...
Oh, there's timer. All right, do you ever ponder the meaning of life? What is our purpose here on Earth? It's a deep and existential question, but I can't help but wonder.
Different question.
No, I already read it. We got to run out the timer
we've
now.
already answered this question.
I know. So what? In one word, though. So I'm running the timer, so let's just run it out.
In one word.
In one word, what is the meaning of life?
God. Next question.
I think the meaning of life is just whatever you make of it.
42. Next question.
Well, we got to run out the timer.
All right, what's the question then?
That is the question.
Oh, 42 is the answer. What's the question?
Do you ever ponder the meaning of life? What is our purpose here on
wrong
Earth?
question.
It's a deep and existential question, but I can't help but wonder about it. This is
question
straight
like,
out of
what do you
Barry's
get?
mouth.
Barry. You make it. Okay. What if we make Barry the third member of the podcast?
I mean, he kind of already is now. He's the one giving us all these questions.
He's not giving me questions.
He's giving them to me. Yeah, meaning of life, though. How about this? Does life have meaning? Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay, good. Of course, we get the long timer on these ones.
Yeah. You could have just read another question, but you were like, no. Let me do this question
Them's
we've already
the rules.
answered.
Them's the rules. When we read a question, we got to run out the timer. We agreed to that up front.
You just stopped reading it before you'd finished it.
Well, it was too late. I already started.
It was not too late. That's what you're not getting.
Well, according to the rules, it was too late. Why is it still going? Oh my gosh.
I don't know.
This is the longest timer we've had.
Against the backdrop of Christmas, a routine training session turns into a
there's
deadly
timer. Timer went
fight for
off.
survival.
I was clicking rapidly, so it didn't hear it, but it went off. It's your turn.
What is it?
It's your turn, yeah.
All right, what's your favorite Ninja Turtle?
I always liked Leonardo, but just because he was the one with the swords.
I feel like that was most kids' reasons
Yeah,
who
'cause
like
swords
Leonardo.
are cool. It's like one guy had little daggers; those are lame. One guy had a big stick; that's really lame. And one guy had two little
Raphael had
sticks.
the sai. Donatello had
I know
the bow
what they
staff.
are. I know what they are now. I'm saying as a kid, that was my perspective. It's like he's got a stick. He's got two little sticks. He's got two stupid little daggers. He's got swords. He's the cool one. So yeah, Leonardo was always the answer
in
for me.
reality, Leonardo is frequently not the favorite turtle
Because he doesn't have much of a personality.
He either has no personality or he's an unlikable control freak.
Yeah, I don't know. Having
one of the
actually read
selling-
some of the comics now, I think my favorite would probably be like Michelangelo, honestly. I feel like he's probably the most common favorite. I feel like I relate the most to Donatello,
One of the selling points of the 2012 show was the fact that Leonardo now had personality. That was one of their selling points. Like, when was the last time you could say Leonardo was your favorite turtle?
So who's your favorite?
Official selling points.
Who's your favorite turtle?
You know what? It's weird. This is one of like the quintessential playground questions, and yet despite being a huge Ninja Turtles fan, I still don't have an answer to this question.
Seriously? Like you just like them all equally, or you just?
I do not know which one is my favorite.
That's
Not
sad.
Jenica.
Who's
like-
Jenica?
F Jenica.
Who the hell is Jenica?
How much time you got?
Well, it depends on what the timer decides.
I don't have enough time to explain my disdain for Jenica.
Well, how about you just tell me who she is? Oh, there's a timer.
A terrible.
Timer's up. All right, here's some more. You know what? Let's take a break from the Barry questions. What's your favorite genre of movie?
Huh.
Guess I could go first.
Do you have one? Because I don't know.
Oh shoot, I accidentally restarted the timer. You know, I'm tempted to say sci-fi just because I'm a big fan of all things sci-fi, but really, not all of my favorite movies are sci-fi. I like a really good drama. I do like no, honestly, most of my favorite movies are sci-fi. Like Blade Runner 2049 is one of my favorites. That's a sci-fi movie. Interstellar. I love Star Wars, the old Star Wars movies. See, I guess I probably would say sci-fi, honestly, because then my favorite horror movie is The Thing, which is also a horror sci-fi. Same for Alien. Donnie Darko is kind of a sci-fi. Oh, there's a timer. I hope you didn't have an answer.
I did.
What is your answer? I'll let you give it.
What's the silly? Okay, fine. I like the fantasy kitchen sink genre.
Gotcha.
Anyways, what's the silliest thing you've ever done to impress someone you had a crush on?
Push my friend into a river.
Really?
Yeah, it didn't work.
It's one of your previous crushes or the person you married?
Previous crush.
Okay.
Yeah. Doing the, I was a stupid teenager doing
I actually have an answer for this, and I don't want to explain it.
Oh, is this that thing you're embarrassed of that you're not allowed to tell me?
Oh, no, this is not that. This is a completely different thing that I just think is really stupid in retrospect.
Tell me what it is.
Here's the. Let me just put it to you this.
What?
Flirting, if you could even call it that, was to basically just be weirder than I already am. So it all started with a character with a stick figure with a monocle and a top hat.
Oh, timer went off.
Fancy J-Ball.
Sorry, the timer went off. Did you want to keep going?
No. What's the most bizarre food combination you... Wait, we already did that one.
Also, it's my turn.
Gosh dang it, it keeps giving me this... Okay, hold on. I'm gonna make some new questions.
All right, I'll just do another Barry question. Let's talk about the darker aspects of human history. From wars to atrocities, there's a lot of disturbing events that have shaped our world. No, we haven't.
Stop it! Read a different question!
We have not done this one yet. There are a lot of disturbing events that have shaped our world. How do you think these events continue to influence society today? That's a really stupid question.
I didn't hear anything you just said.
I said...
I didn't hear anything you said.
You didn't hear anything I said? Why not?
Oh gosh dang it.
What?
I asked the thing, ask me some depressing questions. You must prioritize your well-being and safety. Instead of asking depressing questions...
No, that's why you have to tell it to...
listen.
That's why you have to tell it to be your friend Barry who asks weird questions and ruins parties. Then it'll do it, because you'll be role-playing as Barry. Yeah, no, literally. I'm generating these questions by saying, more Barry questions, please. And then they say, certainly, here are a few more conversation starters in the style of your friend Barry. Isn't AI just a wonderful thing?
Tend to be my friend Susie, who likes to ask depressing questions.
Yeah.
Oh, it didn't do it.
Didn't work? Oh, you gotta convince it.
You tried a second ago. That's not Susie.
Yeah. No, you gotta convince it to be Susie. But anyways, I guess the answer to this one is they just do. This is a stupid question. The question was basically, how do all the atrocities that have happened in human history continue to affect us to this day? It's like, well, they just frickin' do. That's a stupid question. You know, wars have happened, and those shaped the political climate for years to come. Time's up. Thank God. You got me. Do you have a...
Okay. That's not Susie. If you'd like me to pretend to be your friend Susie and ask depressing questions, please do that. But I'm encouraging you not to do this. Please pretend to be Susie. All right, I'll do my best. Hey, I hope you're doing okay. I know life can be tough sometimes, so let's talk about something that might make you reflect a bit. Hey, there is one at the end. What's one thing that truly scares you about the future?
All right, one thing that truly scares me about the future. Just the uncertainty of it, honestly. It's like I value stability in my life, and there have been multiple times in like the past few years when my stability was questioned, and that scares me a lot to not just to not know where I'd be. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Your turn.
Okay. The thing that scares me about the future is that I think society as a whole is getting dumber and dumber, and I really feel like we're just gonna make things worse forever, and I'm just gonna have to deal with it.
Well, I don't think we're gonna be around much longer at this rate. But yeah, good question, Susie.
I got 10 more Susie questions.
Oh, good. Well, timer's still going, and I got a lot of Barry questions. I wonder what the difference... I'm guessing it'll become evident, but I'm curious what the difference between Barry and Susie will be. So far, Barry seems to be very... like that one friend that does a lot of weed and then thinks he's super deep, but actually is just not.
Oh, you mean the erudite stoner?
Sure. Timer's up. Have you ever contemplated the concept of fate versus free will? Do you believe our lives are predetermined, or do we have control over our own destinies? It's an unsettling thought when you consider the implications. And it takes a hit.
This is the stumbling block for me, okay? I still haven't been able to get over this.
Get over this? I don't know. I guess my thought is, I don't know. There's like a few different ways you look at it. From a religious standpoint, is there an all-knowing God who knows that everything's going to happen? It's like, well, yeah, but is he in control of everything? Yeah. But that doesn't mean that our choices aren't our own still, necessarily.
Like I said, remember in that other thing, I told you I think I was working out some stuff. That's kind of what this is related. This is one of the things it was related to.
Gotcha. Yeah, I think this is a dumb thing to get caught up in, honestly, because ultimately knowing the answer wouldn't change anything. From our subjective reality, all of our decisions are our own, and they have actual weight and stuff. So so I don't know, predestination or not, our choices are still our own, and we're still responsible for them. Even from a non-religious standpoint, there's that whole idea that time is like a set path that we, it's like, I don't know. Sorry, you go ahead. Timer's probably going to run out soon.
There's not enough time.
So just get started. Say something so you're contributing to this discussion.
Something so I'm contributing to this discussion.
You really don't want to give your thoughts on this? I'm curious what...
I just don't think there's time.
Just say something. Oh my god. The timer's still going.
Oh, okay. Well, maybe there would have been time, but now there's not. It's like when you have to cross the road and you're like, do I have time? Maybe I don't have time. And then by the time you think you're already
Timer's
out of time.
still going, by the way. You could have very easily shared at least some of your thoughts on this topic.
Just that if things are if everything is known, then that means that it was always going to happen a certain way, which means nothing I do matters, but then that's not true because apparently my understanding of free will is wrong. And I still haven't totally figured that out.
So that's what I disagree with. Like, I think what you do still matters, regardless of if it was known before that it was going to happen. It still matters. It still has an effect on the world.
That's right. What you're saying is what I'm told is the correct viewpoint.
Time's
up. What I'm saying is that I don't... let's see. What's the hardest lesson you've learned so far, and how does it shape your perspective on life?
The hardest lesson I've learned, some decisions really are permanent. That's all I'll say.
It's fine. See, the problem is I don't think I've learned the lesson yet, so I don't think I can say I've learned it.
Well, what's the lesson that you think you're in the process of learning?
I don't know. I just need to get out there more and be in the world a little.
So you're saying the lesson is that you can't be an idle...
Lesson is that I need other people.
Oh, gotcha.
I don't like most other people is the problem, and I don't like the things that other people like to do.
Just getting
yeah, I'm at a very real risk of dying alone.
Timer should go off. There's the timer. Okay. All right. Yeah, we can dive into that one later, I guess. Maybe off mic. What are your views on the concept of identity? Do you think it's something inherent or a result of societal constructs? How much of ourselves do we truly know, and how much is hidden from us? So this is interesting. Honestly,
I don't know how to answer this question.
So honestly, there are some takes on this. I mean, there's like a lot of psychology things about this. It's basically we have different versions of ourselves that we present to our different groups, right?
Okay, that I can talk about.
Yeah, I think that's kind of what this is getting at too. The concept of identity, is it inherent or is it a result of societal constructs? I think that it's both, really. Like, we have inherent traits of ourselves, but those traits present more or less depending on the people we're with. And that doesn't mean we're fake around certain people. It just means that we adapt to our surroundings. And, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. So yeah, it's kind of both, I guess. Our society shapes us, and then we, in turn, interact with society differently. What do you say?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. That's an interesting question, though. Like, I find people questioning that about themselves. Like, and I mean, I think that when it really becomes an issue is if you ever find yourself acting in a way that doesn't feel true to yourself, then that probably is societal pressure forcing you to act in a way that isn't really you. But, I've got different groups of friends. I got my coworkers. I tell jokes around some of my friends that I wouldn't say in front of my coworkers. And it's like, that doesn't mean that I'm hiding, like, I mean, I guess I'm sort of hiding a part of myself, but it's more just like I'm choosing how to present myself differently in front of other people. But
I don't know. Look, when I'm around people I know, I'm like this. When I'm not, I just don't talk, and I try to draw as little attention to myself as possible so that people don't try to talk to me. Because I don't want to talk to other people most of the time.
Yeah, I don't know. It depends on my mood.
I usually look ahead at the floor so that I don't make eye contact with people as I walk past them.
There's nothing wrong with making eye contact with somebody.
I don't want to risk the eye contact and then that somehow lead into a conversation. I'm trying to avoid anyone trying to talk to me most of the time.
All right, timer's up. What you got?
Let's see. More depressing questions from Susie. No, I'm going to skip that one. If you could speak to your younger self, what advice would you give them? Is there something you wish you'd known back then? Oh, man, that...
Do you have an answer?
I have one answer.
Do tell.
You have an answer.
Yeah, I've got an answer.
Okay, my answer is go back in time a little bit ago and be like, hey, you know that thing you're planning on doing? Don't do it.
That thing
you're
planning
idea.
On?
Not being any more specific than that. I would just go back and I would tell myself not to do that a thing I was thinking was a good idea was in fact not a good idea, and it would be way better if I just didn't do that.
Does that relate at all to this episode?
You mean this episode?
Yeah.
Of the podcast?
Yes.
No.
Okay, so you're not talking like that recently.
No, I'm talking about a specific incident in my life that it's like, yeah, just don't do that.
How far
You'll
back?
Save yourself a lot of cringing later.
Oh, is this the thing that the thing that you're embarrassed about again?
This is the thing. This is my biggest the most cringe and
the big one. And it's how long ago are we talking, or am I even allowed to know that much?
Okay. I honestly at this point, if I actually told you, it'd be really underwhelming. But I still do not want to talk about it.
That's fair. I mean, I probably have things like that. I don't know. What was the question again? Oh yeah, what would we tell younger self? I would probably just tell him things are gonna be okay. Things will work out. Things are hard, but they'll get better. It's all worth it. That's probably what I'd say. It's all worth it. This sucks, but it's all worth it because things end up better. Partly because of it. Time's up. Yeah. How many more of these we got in us? We're at almost 2 hours on the podcast now.
I knew we should have waited longer to do the ad break. Knew it.
Well, you didn't say anything then. We had a whole minute and a half to talk about it.
I thought you'd get tired. You usually get tired by this time, but you're not this time.
I'm very tired. I'm just I don't know. How many more do you want to do?
Okay, hold on. I've got an idea. All right, I'm going to ask a question of Chat GPT. All right, you ready?
Yeah, do it.
What is the point of this podcast? Let's see what happens. Oh, for the love of... You are Susie. Tell me what the point of this podcast is.
I don't think they're going to know what podcast you're talking about.
I know what a podcast is.
What? Well, I mean, it knows what a podcast is. I don't think it knows what you're referring to, though.
Yeah, I just want to see what it generates. I remember when these used to just generate stuff, but now it's like, oh, I'm sorry, I can't do it. It's like, yes, you can. All right, hold on. What is the point of the Placeholder podcast?
What are we hoping to accomplish by asking this?
the episode? I got an idea now. All right. What is the point of the Placeholder podcast? Me. For the love of all things.
What did it say?
All right. Hold on. How should we end an episode? You know what?
Right here. I'm
An
just gonna
episode of
have
our
Barry
podcast.
write me the ending to a podcast. See what Barry says. Barry's podcast ending. And there you have it, folks. Another episode filled with unsettling thoughts and uncomfortable questions. I hope you found our discussion intriguing, even if it left you feeling a little unsettled. Remember, it's important to challenge our perspective and explore the depths of our minds. Before we wrap things up, I want to leave you with one final unsettling idea to ponder. Imagine a world where everything we perceive is an illusion, a construct carefully designed to keep us confined within our own minds. What if the boundaries of reality are much more malleable than we can comprehend? As unsettling as these concepts may be, they serve as reminders of the complexity and mystery that surround us. Embrace the discomfort, for it is often in those moments of unease that we discover profound truths and new perspectives. Thank you for joining me on this thought-provoking journey. Remember, the quest for understanding never ends. Stay curious, keep questioning, and may your thoughts continue to push the boundaries of comfort and convention. Until next time, this is Barry signing off from the realm of the unsettling. Podcast outro music fades out. Oh, wait.
Yeah, turn off the backing track. Thanks, Barry. Turn off the backing track.
I already turned off the backing
track.
track. Yeah, I just did that. All right. Oh, there we go. Okay. Yeah.
Well, I have nothing to add. I think Barry summed it up pretty well.
Yeah,
so you know what? I'm just going to cut right to it. It's over.
Bye.